Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Hallelujah. Abba Yahweh, we told you once again for breathing the breath of life into us, waking us up to see another beautiful Shabbat day. Abba Yahweh, we told you for this day that you placed before us, a day of rest for our bodies. Abba Yahweh, we told you for all things that you've done for us throughout this past week, bringing us through trials and tribulations, bringing us through things we might not have seen. Abba Yahweh, we told you for your protection, your healing. We told you for answer prayer. Abba Yahweh, we told you for your Hasid. Abba Yahweh, we continue to tell you for all things. We don't have enough words, but we stand before you this day wanting to give you all the honor, the praise, the kabah that you well deserve. And Abba Yahweh, continually have your word continually go forth among your people. Have your word continually prepare us along the way in these last days. Abba Yahweh, have us not to be forgetful hearers of your word. Have it that your word be within us and marinate within us so we don't be lost in this way. So we don't go to the right or to the left, but we stay in that straight and narrow path that you have laid out for us to stay in to receive salvation. And Abba Yahweh continue to have it that we always want to Shema, hear your word. So we will always be prepared in these last days. So we always listen to the voice of you, to be guided by you in these last days, to see things the way you want us to see them in these last days. So no matter what goes on in this earth, no matter how evil and wicked this earth may get, all the things that go down in this earth, we know that we continue to serve you and your son, Yahshua HaMashiach, and be guided by you so we may be able to know how to maneuver this earth when the kingdoms start to fall, when everything starts to fall all around us, and we have to flee into the wilderness and be guided by you. And always, Abba Yahweh, have it that we always trust in you, Emunah in you. So anything that go down, we might have to lose even loved ones. We might lose possessions. We know we still have you on our side. And Abba Yahweh continually fight for us in this way, knowing that the enemy seeks to destroy us. Abba Yahweh, those things that they seek to do to us, have that it be returned to them a hundredfold. And Abba Yahweh continually show your judgment in this earth upon the heads of the wicked, to show them that all things that they think they will do in this earth to be successful will not succeed at all, because you have all power. And you, when your son Yahshua comes to this earth, will once again restore this earth back to the way it was at the very beginning, and restore it so it will be justice in this earth. It will be a government in this earth that will be fair among everyone. And Abba Yahweh, we look forward to a day that come when it be shalom forever and ever in this earth. And Abba Yahweh, continually have your word go forth among us, so your word be within us, and we have great delight in keeping your word, and have it that your people know who they are and whom they serve in this earth. In Yahshua HaMashiach's name we pray. Hallelujah. House of Israel, you may be seated. Shabbat Shalom, House of Israel. I say Shabbat Shalom, all tuning in on the live stream. Today I want to read from the book of Tehillim. This is Psalms 139. Psalms 139 says, "O Yahweh, you have searched me and known me. You know my sitting down and my rising up. You understand my thought afar off. You comprehend my path and my lying down, and are acquainted with all my ways. For there is not a word on my tongue. Behold, but behold, O Yahweh, you know it altogether. You have hedged me behind and before, and laid your hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me. It is high, I cannot attain it. Where can I go from your Ruach? Or where can I flee from your presence? If I ascend into the Hashemayim, you are there. If I make my bed in hell, behold, you are there. If I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even there your hand shall lead me, and your right hand shall hold me. If I say, surely the darkness shall fall on me, even the night shall be light about me. Indeed, the darkness shall not hide from you, but the night shines as the day. The darkness and the light are both alike to you. For you formed my inward parts. You covered me in my mother's womb. I will praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are your works, and that my soul knows very well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in secret and skillfully wrought in the lowest part of the earth. Your eyes saw my substance, being yet unformed, and in your book they all were written, the days fashioned for me, when as yet there were none of them. How precious also are your thoughts to me, O Yahweh! How great is the sum of them! If I should count them, they will be more in number than the sand. When I awake, I am still with you. Oh, that you would slay the wicked, O Yahweh. Depart from me, therefore, you bloodthirsty men. For they speak against you wickedly. Your enemies take your name in vain. Do I not hate them, O Yahweh, who hate you? And do I not loathe those who rise up against you? I hate them with a perfect hatred. I count them my enemies. Search me, O Yahweh, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts, and see if there is any wicked way in me, and lead me in the way of everlasting. Hallelujah. See, we want to be guided and led by Almighty Yahweh. And once we clean ourselves out, Yisrael, and do the things Yahweh commands us to do, guess what? You're not going to be lost. You're not going to fall in this way of life, but you will always be guided by the one and only Yahweh, who wants to see you make it to that kingdom that he has made for each and every one of us. Hallelujah. So at this time, I'd like to turn the service over to Zarkane Dawid Yakin Sr. We want to receive him by giving Yahweh the highest form of praise by saying, Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Shabbat Shalom, Yisrael. Truly, we thank Almighty Yahweh for the life, health, and strength, the activity of our limbs, for the changing of the seasons, the times, for the coming forth of his word, for the sending forth of his son, Yahshua HaMashiach, our Savior and our Redeemer, our soon coming King. We do total Yah for life, and I do mean that in the highest sense of the word, that we do simply thank Yahweh for life. The strangest of sentiment in the earth in this day and age is just that. It's the mystery of life, where you wonder, and this is not to be offensive, but you wonder sometimes why some were even born, as the exchange of things begins to take place in the earth, especially in this age in which we live. We're in the age of the cleanup and the wind down of the mysteries. As the things that Almighty Yah commanded the children of Yisrael to do, to live by, to know and to understand, you got to really coach and guide Yahweh's people. A lot of times we're so far out of order. Told Yah, my dear brother, we are so far out of the order, out of the alignment with Yahweh. If you know anything about your automobile, you can drive along in your own car, and the car be fine till you hit the right pothole. You hit that pothole and it knocks that car out of alignment. And that car won't run the same for you because now it's been knocked out of alignment. And even when you drive and you adjust to the fact that it's out of alignment, there's no correcting it until it does get a realignment. And that's what Yahweh's people are in need of, especially in the latter days. Some of us have taken our own vessels, our mind and our spirit, and we have driven our own lives to a point where we're just so out of line with Yahweh, it no longer matters. And to take that same analogy and go one step further, you watch automobiles. I was riding, I forget what street it was I was riding there, but I watched a person sideswipe another person's car, and they hit it hard enough where they did damage to both vehicles. But they kept going. And then I noticed that they speeded up because they thought I behind them, I was going to run and get their license plate and report them or do whatever. But he just took off at such a high rate that I was thinking to myself, that's how we do in life as a people. Some of our smallest sins in Yahweh, we sideswipe things along the way and we just pick up speed and keep going. And as a result, now we've done the damage. We might not look at it. And you know how most people are about their automobiles. People tend to want their automobile to look halfway decent. Am I correct? You know, but if you drive a beater, you just drive a beater. It doesn't matter, right? But I'm just saying, a lot of times people want it to kind of look neat. All of your external extremities in life do represent you. You know, your home, how the house looks, it represents you. How the automobile look, it represents you. The clothing that you wear, the hairstyle, it does represent you. It does say things. And I know that things like this, a lot of times it's not, where can Yisrael go with things like this are daily pointed out to us so that we can see it and manage life a little better? Where do we go? Do we get it at the job? Do we get it in the schools? Do you get it at the neighborhood homeowners association? So more often than not, like the psalmist said, that when I went into the sanctuary of Yahweh, then understood I the end. This is where these types of things should be taught to Yahweh's people. What you find in the latter days, and more often than not, I'm gonna say this, and we need prayer, and I say that we really do need prayer. We have no motivation. Yeah, you ever see people sometimes you don't even know. Like I watched the brother go to work the other day, and he just showed up. He was just there. And I think the funny thing about it was, let's be real. Before I understood his spirit was me. If that makes sense. In other words, I ain't even feel like being there. It was me. I ain't feel like being there that day. I was like, I don't even know why I'm here. I could have stayed home, could have kept snoring. And then I look, he dragging 10 times worse than me. And I was like, why are you even here? And I caught myself. And you know what I said? You know what, man? I'm sorry, bro. I shouldn't even ask you that because I really need to go back in the truck and ask myself that. Because it was then when I realized that our energies mirrored each other. But the reality, that's just Yisrael all day, every day. Now, y'all don't get mad at me for saying this all you want. Yeah, I'm at that point now, sitting right here. I don't care. I can stand up and say this. But a lot of y'all come in the door like that every Shabbat. And the question, why? Now the whole building quiet. Everybody, you talking about me? No, I'm saying in general, but we have to understand something. This how you know Yisrael ain't paying attention. This how you know. And I pray y'all would bless you to be able to pay attention after the day, because ain't a whole lot that nobody can really say to any of us after this era of time now, because we have a don't give a damn attitude. But a don't give a damn attitude got to lead to something. It has to draw some type of conclusion. So the brother that didn't really feel like being there and his attitude was 10 times worse than mine, you know what brought him out of it? A simple conversation that was so horrendous and so tragic. I had to actually find humor in it to get him to see just how bad off he was. The company a few years ago had a Christmas party celebrating. They used to always get mad at me because I would never show up at the Christmas celebration, what have you. So the one year where I stick my head in the door, I go in there with the heathen, they doing whatever it was they doing. Okay. He and a couple other men went off because the boss didn't give them their Christmas bonus checks that night. He told them, I think the party was like on a Wednesday. Christmas fell on a Friday. So they had to kind of like, in order to get the pay thing, you know how that works. You got to work the day before the holiday and the day after. So they had to work that Thursday and then that Monday, whatever. Anyway, he gave them their checks. He didn't give it to them that night. He worked the next day, then you get it. They got mad. So they stole a bunch of the liquor, the alcohol, whatever it was. They stole alcohol, stayed up all night drinking because now they mad. He gets so drunk, gets so mad. Next day we come in, we putting up a scaffold for a house. We're getting everything in order. We're not going to work on it. We're just setting up everything. He go all the way to the top. He getting the rest of the scaffold, the boards and everything together. He falls off the top and just comes straight down. We got a big flatbed truck on the side of the scaffold here. He comes down, grabs the rail, doesn't have enough strength to hold on. So he flips out, hits the truck, hit the scaffold, hit the truck, hit the scaffold, go under the truck. So he's like a human ping pong ball, if you could see it from where I was standing. It seemed as if Yahweh slowed it all down, like it took 11 minutes to fall 30 feet. So as I'm explaining to him how it looked from my vantage point and how I went to visit him in the hospital, and said, man, your luck just didn't quit. Your luck just stayed right where it was. I couldn't find him in the hospital. They looking for him all over the place. They stuck him up on the children's ward. So he's so small, he folded all up in the bed like a little child and everything. I go in the room looking for him, little child, say, you looking for Mr. James? He over there balled up in the bed. So I'm looking at this little bitty child. So, okay. Look over there, he folded up in the bed like a piece of luggage. And I said, man, I've been downstairs for over an hour. They trying to find you. Here you are stuck up here with the children in the children's ward. There ain't anywhere else to put me. Still bad attitude. Still didn't catch on. Still not prayerful, anything. I admit it. I didn't want to see the man die. I prayed Yahweh have mercy upon him. This was a few years ago, right? So the other day when he came in and was feeling so bad, so down and out, I said, why? You in a bad mood. You're in a funk where, truth be told, you're happy in that funk. You don't really want no remedy. That's my point. Some people really don't want no remedy. Just always, hey, how you doing? I remember brother used to come here like this. Shalom, bro, how you doing? I like, come on, man. A few times I really thought about putting him out before he even start preaching because the spirit was just that heavy where you realize we have so much to be thankful for. Even in the worst of the worst situations. So I'm at the job. I'm telling the owner of the property the other day, I said, hey, man, this job was so worrisome. This might be the job that ended my career. He said, what you mean? It got so bitter cold. One day we working on it. It was nice and warm, hot. I was rushing to finish it. I couldn't, so I had to come back the next day. But the next day it got so bitter cold. My eyeballs was cold. My earlobes were cold. My knees was cold. Everything you could think of was just cold. No matter what I did, it just wasn't right. I ended up putting in the whole day. But I went home. I was so frustrated. I was just so whatever it was. And Mr. Johnson, he stopped by. He saw him. I was laying on the floor like a armed robbery victim or something. I was just at the house, just done. And we talked for a few minutes or whatever. I didn't go the next day. I think it was. I forgot when I went. But when I did go, I was telling the owner, I said, man, your property, man, this here, it just took it out of me. You know, I just showed up today to clean it up and get here. And I'm going to do this so I can get away from you. I'm in humor jesting with him now, letting him know, it must be your spirit. You got a bad spirit, so I got to get away from you. He says to me, no, it ain't me. I've known you all your life. We always been best friends. We always been good. It's him. It's him right there. He got a spirit so bad, it's a black cloud following him. This is a non-spiritual man that could diagnose another man on a spiritual level. And he was right. Today's lesson is entitled, What to Do When Life Really Beats Us Down. Because Yisrael is in that beatdown phase. We're in a phase where our salvation is coming. But you need to understand something. The way in which it's coming is so ugly, so devastating, so perplexing, that as Yahweh removes some of Yisrael, even from the face of the earth, we got to go back and really visit the days of Noah, Yisrael. Because just prior to the flood, there were plenty of righteous people in the earth. And Yahweh, in the blessedness of his holiness, started removing them because he didn't want them to be around for the dangers, for the disaster, for the judgment that was to come. That might not sound like nothing to most of us, but that's Yahweh's mercy, where he did not want Yisrael, well, not necessarily Yisrael, but the righteous of that age to be around to see it. And that's how this mark of the beast system is right now. It's approaching. And it's approaching in ways that's just so devastating to all the world that nobody knows how to stop it. They don't, if you've ever, watch this. How many have ever, in this sanctuary, y'all, you ain't got to tell what you did. Anybody ever been arrested, whether guilty or not guilty? Anybody ever been arrested, ever been taken to jail, anything like that? Ever? Now, that ain't good feeling, is it? In that world is a whole nother world, ain't it? Especially if you sit in a jail cell for any length of time. I'm going to tell a quick story. Years ago, I was a young laborer in the construction industry, and I didn't never like wearing gloves, right? This was before the terrorism stuff really hit big, right? So they came through our neighborhood and did a sweep, just grabbed up everybody, grabbed like 25, 30 people, got everybody. And then central booking wasn't even built. You went to each district and they had jail cells in them districts. So where I was and where I was positioned, I could see everybody that was in the tier where I was when they got released or when they got brought in. You could see everybody coming past. So, like I said, 25, 30 people just snatched everybody up. They was looking for somebody. They were looking for some murder suspects. But I noticed after a day and a half, everybody was going home except me. And I'm thinking, damn, what's going on? I'm getting really suspicious now. Did I do it? Knowing I didn't, but I'm getting scared now, right? So I go get fingerprinted. Not once, but twice. They don't do that. Picture taken. Twice. They don't do that. I ain't getting no phone call. I ain't getting nothing. Everybody gone. They got a fresh new batch of criminals they bringing in. All the people that I know, gone. So what it was, laboring, moving the brick and the block so much so you pick them up so much so it rubbed my fingerprints off. So I ain't had no fingerprints. In the criminal world, that's the first thing the criminals do. They burn off their fingerprints so that they can't be identified internationally in a pool, all this other stuff. So a few years later, here comes the story. Well, not a few years later, but during that time, we weren't aware of it. There was the world's most deadly terrorist. I don't know if y'all remember this name, Ivan the Jackal. Remember Ivan the Jackal? He's blowing up airplanes and doing stuff to America. Most of y'all heard him or you didn't hear him. Anyway, they couldn't identify him because he ain't had no fingerprints. So they knew I hadn't done the murder. They showed us the pictures of the body. It had decayed. It was in the wood. Whoever did it shot the person's face off. Shot him in the chest. It was a big hole. in here somewhere, and then shot him in the thigh. Big hole right there, and they laid out in the wilderness. There's this thing they do for people that are guilty. When you show the guilty people the crime scene, what have you, they tend to be real familiar with it. And there's certain things that psychologists say the guilty will do. Anyway, so I didn't fit that profile, none of that stuff and all, but they couldn't identify me. But in sitting there, I learned the workings of the police world and how it goes, how people identify different things, how criminals are profiled, what happens when criminals are in there talking, especially when you get two of them in different cells and they talk across each other, saying what to say, what not to say, and all of this stuff. You learn things. Years ago, I learned that a lot of the criminals that lived the criminal life didn't really want to live that life, but they had been put in a predicament in life where they were forced to live that way. Here I am years later as I preach and teach and I understand certain things, and I realize the most shocking aspect of the criminal world, why you saw Yahshua sit down with the harlots, with the gamblers, with the sinners, and talk with them and teach them. Because as I said earlier, our salvation is coming now. Our deliverance is coming. Our redemption is coming. But hear me, we don't never look at the ugly side of the salvation and the redemption. How y'all would pull that prostitute and change her life while she come in the sanctuary and she's stinky, she dirty, whatever the case. We don't look at that. That drug addict with them puffy hands that really all their lives never heard the truth, but now all of a sudden know that however it is that they're living and whatever's going on in the world, they need to change because we're so used to being in the best of our clothes, having a refrigerator full of food, having a tank full of gas, having everything we need as we go to the sanctuary and sit up and pretend to be pristine and clean and righteous and wholesome, while all at the same time we're so far from salvation. It's ugly. And when Yahweh start drawing down on the ugliness to bring out the beauty of holiness as Yahshua walked among them, remember the scripture does remind you that it's not many of the wealthy. It's not many of the politically connected. It's not many of the wise that were called to salvation. He called the ugly side, the side that nobody wanted to look at. And a lot of time, it ain't the ones that's in there with the book or the newest book or the prettiest dress or the best looking shirt that's making it. Sometimes it's the one that's so beat down. It's the one that's so lowly. It's the one that's scared to come in. It's the one that just doesn't know. But it's that one that sometime in the midnight hours with no home, nowhere to go, crying out as they sleep over top of a grate that gives a little bit of heat and moisture, that are able to formulate the words in the midst of their prayer where Yahweh receives it. You better watch your step, Yisrael. You better watch your step, Yisrael. Because, see, that's our fundamental problem. We get so bored with the Shabbat. We get so upset. We can't do nothing. I talk with Yisrael all the time. The other day I was working and cut some tie-ins to the wall. We tore down a wall to put it back up to put a door in. There was a window. We took the window out, cut it all the way down to the floor, and made an opening so he could put in a door. Instead of a window, they wanted a door there. It was a double wall. To keep its place from being open, I took the interior wall down first, built that back up, put my ties in place and all. But in the process of taking it down, I beat and broke the ties out of the wall. And as I broke the ties, I hit my finger with the hammer, this one. And it throbbed so bad. And the phone rang. And I took a woman's call. She made 13 points. 13 points in order to make 1 point. And every time she switched the subject, my finger would throb so bad. And as I was listening to everything that beloved sister said, my finger was hurting so bad, I wanted to say, can I call you back? But I kept listening. In the midst of that pain, in the midst of that agony, as she switched subjects, switched subject, switched subject, switched subject, switched subject, just to make 1 point. When that phone call ended, I thanked Yahweh that I was patient enough to sit there and listen to it. Because I pray that Yahweh be patient enough with me to hear me when I cry. I talk to people a lot of times. They was checking in on me early in the week. They talking to me like they talking me down from the mountaintop. I'm not talking to Yisrael like I'm ready to jump. I say I get tired because you don't see no real momentum. You don't see no thankworthiness toward Yahweh. Not me, toward Yahweh. You don't see that. It's the same old. Sometimes you have to match the spiritual energy that people put out. You got to match it with what they produce. Because to do anything and or to go above and beyond, you're now placating to a demon. We ain't placating to no devils around here. We ain't placating on a Monday night. We ain't placating on a Wednesday. Only Yahweh's people that really want this, because what's about to take place and what's actually unfolding in the earth, I watch a lot of the Hebrews, they don't even deal with it. You have to watch what you pray for, because when Yahweh give it to you, can you handle it? There was a message that was being preached, and if anybody that's from any of the various assemblies, sister told me something the brother said the other day, you know. I don't think she meant to tell it in the way where it caused the division, but it was the way the man said something about me and about her and her family. I can speak like that, dear brother, because I have permission from the book. The book says we talk that which we do know and testify to that which we have seen. So when I bring up something that happened 50 years ago, I saw it with my own eyes. But because you converted 10 years ago, don't present yourself as if you got more time served or deeper levels of knowledge and can seek to correct me, because you cannot correct that which you do not understand, neither can you correct that which you did not see and or live through. You didn't live through it. So I bring it up and I humbly say again, a lot of the messengers of Yahweh that opposed telling you about the end time message, they opposed it. And I remember praying, asking Yahweh that I could be a better assistant to Elder Johnson. I asked Abba Yahweh, if it be your will, give me an understanding of the mark of the beast. Help me to deliver it, because man clearly does not want to know. Because it's so horrendous to tell Yahweh's people, yeah, I'll save you, but only after I take you through the worst of the worst. Because one man's transgression set all this in motion. And that's really what all of us are mad about. That's why we got them stank attitudes. That's why we all carrying the same attitude, because we, like the animals of old in the day of Adam, they were so angry with him when he got kicked out of the garden, because he got everybody kicked out. The animals were angry. Yahweh took their speech just prior to having taken their speech. Go back and read close in the suppressed books what they said to him. What have you done? Can you imagine that? A bear asking you, as man made in the image, what did you do? We all lost our home. Can you imagine the horse looking at you, shaking his head? Can you imagine a frog, snake, everything disgusted with you? Because whatever was, now it ain't. And they all know it's your fault. And that's the spirit we all bearing today. We all mad. You didn't do it. You're all victimized by it. We are all under it. But we don't even get happy with the good news. It's coming. Y'all was going to do it. The world talking about the great reset. The great reset is Yahshua. He's going to reset it. So how do you address the nation of Yisrael in a way where you really get their attention? Most of us in Yisrael, we in the street. Let's be real. Most of Israel is in the street. If they ain't in the street, they from the street. Tell me I'm lying. You don't see Yisrael in no droves, in no great number, no 30, 40,000 seat cathedrals, learning the Torah, properly living. I don't care how many you line up, put in purple robes and walk the street. That means nothing. Most of Yisrael is in the street. They have yet to awaken. So how do you talk Yahweh's word to people like that and get it across in a way where you captivate their attention and turn them to Yahweh? We don't know the word as well as we think we do. Some stuff you can't keep dwelling on. I'm not going to keep on stand-up arguing about Jacob and Esau. After a while, you catch certain things. You know certain things, and you keep moving. You understand? You don't have to brag on every point that you know. Some points are biblical. Some points are historical. Some points are salvational. The salvational points of Yahweh's Torah are your primary points of focus in the latter days. I ain't sitting up arguing with no dirty ass Jew about whether or not he's real. I don't give a damn. We know that we're real. We have the burden of living this. I ain't got time to argue with you because you're an imposter. I don't give a damn. You're not going to fool Yeshua. We're losing it. We must always be ready to compare the righteous wisdom of Yahweh up against man's foolishness. You have to be ready to compare the righteous wisdom of Yahweh up against the foolishness of man. You got to be willing to compare it, because without it, you lose sight. Let's go to the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7. See, so much is in Yahweh's word that will help us out. I remember young Julius. I don't know how old Julius would be today, but Elder Seward's grandson, Julius, one time we were in the assembly down there, and Elder Seward, we would do the testimony service where he opened the floor and give space for everybody to, go through and some kind of way stand, give a brief testimony, what they thanked Yahweh for. We did something for their lives or whatever the case may be. And he did it that way. But Julius, young man at the time, he had no testimony. He had nothing really to say. The Elder Seward kind of pressed him, made him get up anyway and testify. So he stood up and he said, I thank Yahweh for my life. I went to school this week. It was, but nothing special happened. Hallelujah. And he sat back down. Now, people may have misread it and thought that it was disrespectful, but he felt pressed to give a testimony. But he acknowledged nothing special happened. Yisrael, a lot of times you all are looking for an extra biblical moment in your lives, when in reality, ain't nothing special happened. I hit my finger with a hammer. Which one of y'all did I call to announce it to? It wasn't nothing special. Painful, but realistically, it wasn't special. Did I text you? Did you get a call? Did you get an email? I came looking for you. I couldn't find you. I would have told you, bro. I couldn't find you. You know it ain't happened, right? So why do we as Yisrael expect everybody? We want the angels singing, ah. We want the lights to brighten up. We want the clouds to get out of the way because we read a verse and got a revelation and realized, that's me. You ain't do nothing. You went to the bank, spoke to the teller, deposited your check. You was already 3 days late on the bill. They had already put that withdrawal in. As soon as they put the digits in place, they took that money out. Nothing special happened. What's biblical about that? Right? Can I go deeper? You ate. You burped. Brace yourself. You pooped. Nothing biblical. Did anybody? Did the angels come and wipe you? See how now that got you real quick, right? You like, come on, Elder, man, but you thought about it, right? See, I have to talk to people like that to get people to see and understand the beauty of Yahweh's word while understanding something special is always happening because he's counting you. You don't need a high-level biblical moment. All of us ain't going to stand before Pharaoh and argue our freedom. If so, go ahead now. Any takers? So everybody looking for this extracurricular, high-level biblical moment. And then when you get it, you might fail the test. Daniel didn't get eaten in the lion's den. Probably never been around a lion a day in his life. Trusted in Yahweh, believed Yahweh, and said to himself in today's language, damn, that's a big cat. And the thing come, he rub it, hug it, and the thing in its own language, Daniel, my man, how you doing, man? Man, you fasting too? Yeah, Yahweh told me fast. Daniel get tired, whatever, he lay on down, go to sleep. In there with the warmest, biggest pillow that a Hebrew probably ever had. You all figure that out later. But you don't get that moment. You run around your little domesticated house cat. You can't even keep the damn thing off the bed. Tell the truth. And you want a biblical moment. There it is. You have a biblical moment. I can't keep this cat out of my bed to save my life. Okay, lay down on it. Put your head on the cat. That's as close as you get, right? Do you think Yahweh has forgotten you? Why do we get so panicked over nothing? Ecclesiastes 7:1. We're going to compare Yahweh's righteous wisdom with the foolishness of man. Check this out. A good name is better than precious ointment, and a day of death than the day of one's birth. Now, tell me something real quick that you know about the day of your death and the day of your birth. Because there's one thing everybody in the world got in common on the day of their death and the day of their birth. But what's special there about that day that you know? Okay, that's interesting. You don't remember nothing about the first one. You, truth be told, you ain't gonna remember nothing about the second one. So those were two good points. Wasn't expecting that. Good points. Hallelujah. Anything else? Say that again. You're alone. Unless you're twin. But you're still born alone. Okay, what else? Y'all will give you 24 hours in the day to sort out all your business every day, right? See, those are the only 2 days in your entire life that are not 24 hours. Think about it. Now, I see I got a couple y'all baffled, y'all brows folded up like luggage down BWI. Let me explain that. Whatever time it is that you're born that day, you're born within that 24-hour span of time. So you ain't got the full 24 hours. Your first day on earth, you ain't get the full 24. You have yet to approach your first 24. But your first day ain't 24 full hours. Understood? 99% of the time, your last day won't be a full 24 hours either. Make any sense yet? So all them other days in between, as the scripture says, sufficient unto the day is its own evil. Israel, we just so I'm convinced now that we don't know how to live, and the reason we don't know how to live is because we don't read Yahweh's word. That's why we really don't know how to live. We don't know how to calm down. We don't know how to just relax. We don't know how to do nothing. I talk about things and I say stuff. I told y'all for the people, for the kindness, for the calls, the prayers, and everything. But people was worried this week. They really thinking like, I'm going to jump. I'm tired. No, I'm saying I'm tired because you don't see the momentum. David said in the Psalms, restore unto me the joy of thy salvation. A lot of Shabbats, man, y'all had the same old. Let me wash that one down. You have the same old tired ass spirit, same old tired ass facial expression, because you really have never received the joy of Yahweh's salvation. Because see, after a while, knowing what's coming, it causes you to calm down in a way where you don't let stuff bother you. Because ain't nothing you can do about it anyway. So when you see, we live Yahweh's word. We're not like the Christian world where they just praise God. Always upbeat. Always. How you upbeat in ignorance? See, when you know what's coming upon the face of the earth, sometimes it kind of get to you. It ain't gonna always drag you down, because some of them days y'all will bring you up out of nothing. A moment where everybody else is down, suddenly you up. You one up on the enemy. Not always down. But come on, man. The world, just even the Christian world, they psych themselves out. David said he stirred himself up in y'all. You have to encourage yourself. But if you draw that spirit of tiredness, loneliness, depressiveness, anger, and hostility all the time, you come on now. How will you drag that into the kingdom age with as great as the salvation is, as great as this universal reset is, you ain't seen nothing until this lifetime, these last few years. I ain't saying decade. In these last few years, you've never seen the whole world so concerned now about judgment and destruction. See, they're building stuff now and they're making it smart. They're feeding it all kinds of information. They're telling it stuff and it's reading it. And then they want it to have sentience where it resembles a human so much so that it can't. So they putting all this knowledge and all this wisdom in the damn thing. They got one that's weighing the odds of biblical prophecy. It puts history, it puts racism, it's putting everything in such a perspective where, hear me on this point, the damn artificial intelligence is telling them stuff they don't even want to know now. It's telling them, hey, you have taught the whole planet to suppress black people in such a way that blackness is the original oldest carbon dated footprint for humanity in the earth. And you've made whiteness so great and so above it that if somebody black comes and tells the truth, you've trained the world to reject it. That's what the AI telling them. And they mad because the damn thing done put the information together and realize, hey, you suppressed them. And yet, salvation. And you mean tell me we sitting around like we ain't got no hope? You at that point now, you got to calm down. See, that's like the mafia with a fight. They go to the boxing match. They all in there. They got to play the game. The only real end result of the mafia at the boxing match, they want their money. They done already fixed the fight. So they go there with their coats and their chains and all of this stuff and sit around like they really surprised like everybody else. They done paid that dude. Look, in the 6th round, fall out. Don't give a damn what happened. Fall out. When the bell ring, we want you on your feet for 30 seconds, then fall out. Now, as the 30 seconds he's counting in his head, the fighter that he's fighting, he done punched that fighter, and that fighter getting ready to go. And he realized 28, 29, 30. He getting ready to go. He go first. And it looks so fixed. The mafia don't give a damn. They want their money because the fight is fixed, right? Okay. This ain't fixed. Yahshua's going to win. And Shaitan knows that no matter what round it is, when Yahshua shows up, it's finished. You got to be like the mafia. You in the fight too. You got front row seats. You got the best seats in the house. In fact, if I can paint a picture for you, John said you didn't have no seats. You ain't got box seats. John said you got thrones. He said, and they sat upon them. So you get to watch the damn fight. You all sad and broke down every day because you can't pay the rent. Damn the rent. Pay it when you pay it. You didn't make the law. Yahweh's law said to owe no man anything. He structured everything in society. Everything was kept so cheap that everybody, even the poor, could afford everything. Yahweh set it up so you wouldn't owe nobody nothing. So they set their law where you automatically break Yahweh's law by participating in their law. Then they got a whole system coming where you're going to be thrown out of their system. And being thrown out of their system, you are now forced to keep Yahweh's rules in his system. And you sitting around sad. We are sick, and we need that sick spirit prayed off of us. A lot of the elders that wouldn't tell it, Yahweh has moved them out of the way and off the scene. And as I prayed and asked Yahweh to give me the ability to articulate it, to see it and to tell it, because man clearly don't want to know it, I looked up and realized the other day, I said, well, there's nobody arguing with me no more. There's nobody fussing. There's nobody standing in the way. I got to tell it the way Yahweh tell me to tell it. Then I had to kneel down and pray for myself that if it be Yahweh's will, if it's your will to keep me here, keep me around, that I may be able to help, to at least help guide your people, to tell them. Because right now, we ain't even looking at a lot of stuff. We all sad and upset about nothing. How much the mortgage? How much the light bill? You upset because you can't pay the devil's children who stole all your stuff that you're buying back every day. And you upset because you can't pay it. You already got it. I know y'all ain't catch that. It's all right. You ain't catch that. You already got it. You sitting around worrying about how you going to pay them. See, bill collectors, they must have told people about me. I don't owe a lot of people, but still, call me. They know. They call me. That's the conversation of their life. That's that one conversation they don't want to have. I have mastered the art of fighting bill collectors. I don't play. What are you on my phone for? Who you owe? Don't you owe somebody? Is there a company calling you? Well, I tell you what you do. If the company ain't calling you, get off the phone with me and call your damn self. Argue with yourself about the bill that you owe them. Don't waste your time on me because I ain't got it. I ain't paying it. Are we clear? And the people be like, it baffles them that somebody would talk to them like that. See, that's us. We've been trained. Well, master, I don't have it today. Can you just give me one more extension? Just another day? Please, sir. Y'all know that's how we living. I see it on your faces right now. That's how we be, so afraid of them. The word said, be not afraid of sudden fear, nor of the desolation of the wicked when it cometh. They're getting desolate right now, so upset, so shook up. I be telling people how it's going to happen. This is Yisrael's biggest goal right now. Most of us have never been in the midst of a government collapse. We've seen government. Remember when the Soviet Union fall? Those of you that were alive. Remember when the Soviet Union collapsed? See, most of us don't know what that was like, where people had to go and stand in line just to get bread at a bakery. Because, see, the government took over the bakeries. They took over the supermarkets. So in order to feed the people now, they start rationing the stuff out. So they had to stand in line and get bread every day. And the price of everything went up. Inflation was up 10,000%. So they were watching it. You sitting here watching the government collapse and didn't know what you're looking at. Don't tell me the government was shut down. We're in test case. We're in test runs. I was looking at the record of all the government shutdowns, and I noticed over the years when they first started shutting them down in the Reagan era and all this stuff, it was 1 day, 2 days, and that scared the people. Oh, the government, they were shut down. 54 days, which is the longest so far in the historic record. And then you see people couldn't get welfare benefits, all the stuff. See, there's so much to come out of a shutdown that people didn't understand. See, most people didn't know Congress and them senators, no, they were still getting their paychecks. So somebody somewhere was working in order to print them checks or to make that direct deposit. Meanwhile, the police, Capitol Police and all them, they working, they wasn't getting nothing. Air traffic control, nobody was getting nothing. But all them big wheels was getting their money. Meanwhile, they were studying you. What's your response to 1 month's missing food stamp? See, that tell you the control levels. Just 1 month. And everybody, damn near 40% of the country, was in panic mode. Now, okay, they know they got them. How is the other 60% eating and functioning? Because now we got to study them. When we get ready to do it again, we got to tap them, strangle them. We got to make everything come to their knee. See, we keep missing stuff like that because we don't have no shepherds that can see. Then when Yahweh say, I will give you shepherds that will feed you with knowledge and understanding, it's the first thing people do to me. They come trying to teach me, trying to tell me stuff. People do it all the time. Sometimes I really do admit, sometimes I get tired of talking to Yisrael because it's like our minds are, we're on a global battlefield. And we over here looking for the monkey bars. You hear that little witness snap in the back. Anyway, we looking for the monkey bar. We on a global battlefield. Guns, bombs, missiles are shooting off at us. Somebody looking for the damn sliding board. Somebody else looking for the jungle gym. While all of this is happening to us, and we are not paying attention. Watch what Yahweh's word tell us what to do when life really beats us down. It's better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting. For that is the end of all men. And the living will lay it to his heart. I mean, you consider this thing. There'll be a day you go to the house of mourning when loved ones start dropping off the scene. They ain't there no more, and all of that stuff. Funny thing about that, in the house of mourning, it will knock that bad attitude out of any of us. I know that for a solid fact. Sorrow is better than laughter. For by the sadness of the countenance, the heart is made better. You ever see somebody get knocked down and get so humbled, but yet that's right where Yahweh wants you, because see, now he got your attention. You can pray better. See, a lot of times we got our little money, we got things going on, we so high-minded, we forget. I'm going to show you what the word says even about that. He tell you why you got it going on right now, be happy, but in the day of adversity, think this thing through. The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, But the heart of fools is in the house of mirth. That's why the Shabbat to so many of us as Yisrael is so boring. We just lose sight of everything on the Shabbat. Just can't get it together for whatever reason. This is that one day where the whole world really supposed to shut down. The only thing moving on the Shabbat that really ought to be moving according to the law of Yahweh was the priesthood. And if you really study the word like you ought to, even the priesthood, they were cooking and preparing the meals. You understand? See how the offerings and things, they flayed that stuff. They cooked it. They seasoned it. They did all of that. The women really did, and children really did get a Shabbat rest. See, you get on us as the men today. Most of the time as men, things like that don't even cross our mind. It don't even hit us that you got jobs that you got to do. You got to help. You got to sit. We just so flaky, so in and out. We to the point now where you really can't even trust nobody. You ever see people just got to see everything going on? No matter what every little move you make. Brother asked me the other day, he watched me work, just looking, just watching every move I made. He watched everything. So I had a little fun with him, man. I was like, man, you ever did this trade before? No, I'm sitting here just watching you, yo. So what's your name? I said, Bobby Brown. And why I tell him that? Because every little step I made, he was watching everything I did. So when he asked me what was my name, I said, Bobby Brown. Just like that. That's why I asked him, you ever did this? Because I was going to show him a little something. He was sitting there staring at me. I felt uncomfortable. I'm thinking to myself, what you going to rob me? What you going to do? Bust my head? What you mad at me? What you hate? What? I didn't even understand it. Just sitting there, mean mugging. So to break the ice, I just start, talking to the brother. At the end, it was just what I thought. He never saw a black man do what I was doing. He said, when you go through the city, all the bricklayers and people doing what you're doing is Hispanic or white men. He said, man, that's why I was watching you, because I was mad with you. I said, where this nigga learn this trade? That's what he said. Where this nigga learn this? That's what he said. If you think you're watching black men now just working in land brick, what you think you're going to do when everything collapses and those that are Yahweh's people are standing and surviving and moving through, and you wondering how they moving, where's their momentum, where they getting this juice from, where their energy level, how come, what's happening with them? You think you watch it now, give it a little bit of time. See, everything now you talk to now, everybody always know. Everybody come in knowing. Everybody. Elder Johnson called that thing out years ago. On North Avenue, the assembly was set up just like it is now. Only difference, the door was slightly further to your right. But the whole setup, you can see everybody that come in. And Elder Johnson said one day, he said two things that I'll never forget. One thing he said was, everything come in that door in this day and age now, everything come in knowing more than the preacher know, and yet don't know nothing. Everything come in, no more than the preacher know. But it was the second statement he made that really hasn't failed in all these years since he passed off the scene. He always told us, watch whatever knock on that door that come to the sanctuary of Yahweh, because only the devil come knocking on the door of the house of Yahweh. That's what he said. See, y'all got to understand something now. I think I went over this with you all before. Never put a welcome mat down at your house. Don't invite no spirit to your house. Never put a welcome mat. You're putting a mat down to wipe your feet. That's different. But never put a welcome mat down, okay? Just put a mat. If you're wiping your feet, you're wiping your feet. Welcome? Don't do it. Now, the devil can't do everything he want to do to you because he needs one thing: permission. If he got to get it from Yahweh, he need permission. If he even got to get it from you, he need permission. Ain't that what the movie Sinners was about? In Sinners, he couldn't even come in. He had to be invited. Pay attention, Yisrael. We've been in this assembly here since 2013. Ain't nobody ever knocked on the door yet that ain't been the devil. Ain't nobody ever knocked yet. Pay attention, Yisrael. The patterns. See, a lot of times we sleep on stuff. You sleep on things. You got to have power over things sometimes and not necessarily admit you got the power. You just got to know and keep on moving. You hear what I say? Certain stuff, you just got to know it. As you know, ain't nothing to brag on. You have the victory. You got to know and keep moving. I got promoted to a position a while back at the company I was with because I learned something. And as I learned it and as I knew it, I stayed quiet. And instead of bragging on that, I bragged on something else. The scripture said, if there's anything we got to brag on the fact that you know Yahweh, that you understand him. So I would brag on that. But I would always tell the brothers that even though I had the job here, I said, this is nothing. This job ain't nothing. I'm just hiding here. I'll tell them, and I was dead serious. I'm just hiding. I'm here working. It's my occupation. I got another job Yahweh sent me to do. Right now, I'm hiding in here among y'all. Anyway, I knew early on because I had prayed for it and I studied it. But I was the best bricklayer that company had. I knew it because I worked beside everybody, and I knew that I knew more about it than all of them. I never let that go to my head. I stayed humble in the position, but it was when the old man acknowledged that he know more about it than any of them. He said, if you want anybody in charge of them, you better put him in charge. Otherwise, because the rest of them ain't sugar, honey, iced tea. That's what he said. Anyway, I stayed humble with it because it gave me more freedom as I got promoted to work for Yahweh. And I looked at it. I was like, Yahweh moved me up in a way where I come out, and my truck always has a Torah in it. I can sit and read for hours if I need to. I got freed up to do that. But to pray, nothing over my head, no electricity, no boards, no nothing. There's just something about being outside all day. And as I learned it, I would get more revelation so that I was a better preacher or teacher by the time I hit the pulpit, because I've been out all week. I could pray and meditate and think and fast and ask for guidance and see things so clearer, because to whom much is given, much is required. But everybody get tired. Everybody get older. Everybody get worn down, especially after a while when you look up and you don't see no improvement. You understand? See, Yahweh didn't send you out. Elder Beard says this, and Elder Beard going down, famous in the history of Yisrael for this statement, if nothing else. He's going down for this one. He said, and it is true, Yahweh did not send you out to fail. So if he didn't send you as his nation out to fail, why are you always so beat down? When is there a day of joy where you know you got the victory? Come on. Yolanda Adams did that little catchy song, I got the victory. They going off singing. I was like, listen to them. They say they got the victory in the wrong name, but they say they got the victory. Sometimes Yahweh's poor little people are crying out in the world, not even knowing that they're crying out. Sometimes they leave an indelible mark on your soul. They leave a fingerprint that can never be wiped away. And then you look up and see them leave in some of the ugliest ways or the worst demise. There's these two men I know of. They lifted all of Black America up in 1979. They did one thing. They picked everybody up. And it made the whole Black America stand on their feet. To this day, when people think about what those two men did, it fires everybody up. But it was their demise that nobody paid any attention to. One was shot and killed in 2004, working on his car. In a case of mistaken identity, they were angry with his nephew and came looking for him. And when he stood up to see who it was, they opened fire and killed him. But what he did impacted all of us, even if you don't know it. And then the other one, he died just 2 years later of colon and stomach cancer. And neither of the two were recognized, as Donald Trump would say, bigly in the eyes of Black America. But now take the Hebrew Israelite community, who many of us pass off the scene. Brother Lonnie Horton, Ahoti Kimya. What was them names we mentioned, Minister Johnson? Brother Tim, Elder Sims, Ahoti Sims, others, just many Israelites that did small things that impacted you in ways where their demise almost seemed as if it went down in the most unjust ways, unacknowledged, unopposed, but yet they're gone. We don't pay it any attention. So when McFadden Whitehead wrote that song, Ain't No Stopping Us Now, nobody ever thought that that would one day be what Black people call the Black national anthem, because we never really listened to the words of what they were singing. We never really listened to how they both said, I know you know someone that has a negative vibe. And if you're trying to make it, they only push you aside. They really don't have nowhere to go. Ask them where they're going. They don't know. Remember that? Y'all remembering it now? That took the Philadelphia Eagles all the way to the Super Bowl championship. They was happy they won. That's what they played. Everybody stole it. Everybody started. Even the white folks is out there at the damn Wimbledon tennis match. They playing. Ain't no stopping us now. Come on now. White folks. Don't get mad, but white folks, y'all ain't even got the rhythm to keep up with their bass count. Come on. Cut that nonsense out. This ain't the Frankenstein show. But people steal our stuff. Sam Cooke was so hurt and being racially profiled, discriminated against, wrote a song for all of us, and he told us a change gonna come. See, when you don't know Yahweh as thoroughly as you ought to, but yet he allowed just enough space out of the air or the breath of your lungs to cry out to him only in the way you know how, you meet the ugliest of demise. Shot in a hotel room, arguing with the manager about a woman that had stole his money. And because he was hyped up, the manager shot him, and it looked real strange. The demise looked real ugly. Just as Yahshua's demise was real ugly, because we cried out, away with him, crucify. Give us that robber right there. We know Barabbas running around, sticking up, doing, get it, give us him. We sick of this man talking about the Torah. Don't tell me his demise wasn't ugly. We lose loved ones, family, and friends sometimes who had lives that were ugly. We try to deify them. We try to saintanize them. We try to martyrize. We try to sing them into heaven. See, I have to talk in the language where Yisrael in the street catch me and can relate to what I'm saying. Because saying it biblically and getting it across to you all and laying it out, you understand it, but you really ain't moved by it. So if somebody talks to you in the language you understand, suddenly you're moved by it for some reason or another. So that's how we do them loved ones. Try to sing them into heaven. Try to stand there, be all pious at their funeral. You know they wasn't shit. Look at y'all now. Y'all get raw. I say that because it catch people's attention. You know they was nothing. They got, look. Social media got emojis for it now. Don't you see a little poop emoji? They let you know, yeah, we understand the language, little cartoon. They put it out there. Then y'all act like y'all so offended. You're so pristine now because I said that. How you get holy 30 seconds? Now you holy. Did you hear what he just said? Yeah, I said it. Oh, but it got your attention, so now you holy. Funny thing how that works. It is better to hear the rebuke of the wise than for a man to hear the song of fools. Solomon said that twice in the book. He said it another way. He talked about the righteous ruling, nothing but hollering among fools. Oh, we got yelling, hollering, scream all the time because the fools can't get it. We are a wise people. We are commanded to take Yahweh's counsel. Wait till I show you what Yahshua said about how to deal with life when it really starts beating us down. Because see, right now, life is beating us down, and we ain't really gone through nothing yet. This is the phase now where they getting so mad that their kingdom is coming down on a global scale. Everywhere they turn, it's crumbling. But they just... I don't know if this is an appropriate analogy. I don't mean it this way, but let's use this. Y'all ever heard the expression, stick your finger in the dike? And this is not sexual innuendo. This ain't this ain't the purple haired girls. This is y'all ain't never heard that expression. Oh man, go ahead. Oh, man, y'all something else. Yes, sir. He saved me. You see how he brought that back? Thank you, bro. He brought me back because I was going to try to explain it to y'all. Anyway, the water that flows through the dike when the damage is done, it's sort of like the 895, the tunnel, the harbor tunnel. See the water coming through the tunnel the other day? See how the water was leaking in? Y'all see it? Y'all missed that? Y'all don't be watching the news. Go ahead. Y'all bluffing. Y'all ain't even see the news. Anyway, when water's leaking through something like that, usually they say, oh, you stick your finger in it to stop the water leak. Okay, but now you can never pull your finger out. Because the leak it's a leak. It's got to be repaired on the other side, wherever the water damage. You got to get it there and fill the whole crack through. Just you and your puny finger ain't gonna work. But what's going on the global scale with the European world is the dike is leaking everywhere. So they don't have enough fingers to stick in the damn thing. So you got Poland panicking because of what Trump did. You got Ukraine panicking. You got this, you got that. All of this stuff happening at the same time because the kingdoms of the world are falling. They're sensing it. We as Yisrael, we still just sitting around depressed and sad because we ain't in the garden. Well, we've been kicked out the garden now for the last several thousand years. Why are you mad about it now? The re-entry point is emerging. You got to get yourself together now because you get ready to go back in. If you do right, you sitting around still mad because you ain't in it when you get ready to go in it. And you might blow the opportunity because you're still sulking over what you had. You ain't Harold Melvin. Somebody got that. Y'all hear him in the back? The love I lost. Cut it out. It hurts that I have to bring up R&B stuff to get y'all to understand. But my point is, righteous or unrighteous, the souls of black folk be speaking out to us in the things that they go through, right? We are so hurt now. We, like our fathers of old, we can't lift up our heads now for anguish of spirit. Now's the time where you say, okay, wait a minute. If you can relate to this, you can relate. You ever cut up as a child, did something wrong, grandma or mama, somebody put them hands on you, make you cry? You go to bed, sucking your little thumb. Now, you sleep good that night. Tell the truth. You slept good, didn't you? They wore you out. You slept good. But it's the waking up part that really hurt. You know why? Because when you wake up and you had that little fake asthma attack, the first 30 seconds of being awoke, right? What happened? You can't even breathe because your pride then kicked in now. You remember that whooping, right? But you got some beautiful sleep. That's us right now. That's Yisrael. Okay, you got to now wipe your eyes. They told you before they got a hold of you, they did say, this going to hurt me more than it hurt you. Now you woke and you still grudging, still carrying it on, right? Well, it's almost over now. And if Yahweh don't simply have mercy on Yisrael, we can't make it. Let me say that real slow. If Yahweh don't look down on the sinners on the street corner, if Yahweh don't look down on the bank robber, if Yahweh don't look down on the single mother, if Yahweh don't look down on the gambler or whatever, if he don't look down from heaven and have mercy on us, we're not going to do it on our own. And that's what the world is looking for. That's what they're hoping for. That's what they're waiting for, that we just have no hope and that they get it all. How do you all get it all when you ain't even earned the right to walk in it? Whereas we have a connection to it that is eternal and we won't take delight in it. Now ain't the time for that. Wake up. We've been whipped. We've been chastised. Now we're being told what to do. Grandma said, now don't you go out there and do that again now, because I'll get a hold of you again, right? You look up, I ain't gonna do that no more. I don't want that no more. I don't want that whooping, right? Now, if you stupid like me, you go back out and do it again, right? Even the white folks sing about it. What do you say? You go back, Jack, do it again, right? So some of us have to get whipped several times. We have to, while we expert whipping takers. That's, if that ain't a term, it's the term now. Expert whooping takers. So we learn from it. And we learn to heal by it. Because Yahshua took them same stripes, and it is by his stripes that we are healed. We ain't even thankful for that. You can't take the whooping he took for us. His humiliation was global. It was global because he took on the weight of the world for all of it. He died. Here, brothers, today talking about, and I get sick of them sitting up in them damn churches talking about the blood of Jesus. That's what the brother said. So I said, well, brother, let me explain that to you from a different perspective. Because the Dam, blood, I explained to him what it was and how it was the life of the thing that is in it. It was the life of the one who had life before you were even born. That's why that blood is so significant, but you don't understand that right now. You'll understand how significant that blood is if you ever get shot, if you ever bleed, if you ever get a main artery hit or anything. You'll suddenly understand how significant blood is. But this is the blood that connects us all, and it connects us back to the Heavenly Father. I said, bro, you can't piss on that any kind of way and get by. And you know what he said? Well, that's the first time anybody ever explained it. If the preacher said it like that, we might take it more serious, even a nigga like me. That's what he said. He said, if they explain it like that, we might take it more serious. See, that's why Yahweh raised up men like us that look like idiots, look like we don't know nothing. And then the funny thing, the people come, they going to coach us and teach us, right? I spend an hour on the radio talking, doing whatever I'm doing. I leave our studio. I'm tired. I'm worn down. It takes a lot of spiritual energy to preach and to teach, to go an hour. Much less 3 hours, 4 hours. It takes some spiritual energy. Here's somebody call. What you talk about today? I missed it, but I don't give a damn if you missed it. Don't call me to tell me you missed it. You missed it. You missed it. You got to call me to tell me you missed it so I can go back over everything I said for your ass. I'm tired. I'm on to next week because our battle is just that serious. And in the process of wanting to hear me rehash it, you trying to teach something to me. That's the way we rolling now as a people. And y'all wonder why every time y'all see me, I be so tired. I be tired, man, because you feel that spirit now. And we ain't learning nothing from Yahweh's word that we can apply anywhere at any given time. We ain't learning nothing. We're not observing. We're not seeing. We're not paying attention. We're not laying this out. Let me see if I can get into this because there's some deep stuff in this message. For as the crackling of thorns under pot, so is the laughter of the fool. This also is vanity. Think about that. You start a fire in the wood somewhere, every now and then that wood, you hear that stuff crack. But check it out. It's burning. So he says here, that's the same thing going on with the laughter of a fool. They laughing and giggling, thinking everything, but they popping just like that wood in that fire. But the fool ain't paying no attention. Surely oppression maketh the wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. See how he lets you know straight out the gate that oppression makes the wise angry because you see it now. We're oppressed every day, and the best we can do is try to get along with the beast system. Check out the new marketing strategy for the beast system. This is how it's getting marketed now. In the future, if you want to work, you're going to have a digital ID. Now, nobody's going to make you take it. But if you want to work, you're going to have a digital ID. What the hell is that? That's a choice with no choice, right? You're going to have it. If you're going to work, you're going to have it. You need health care, you're going to have a digital ID. Now, nobody's going to make you take it. But if you're going to have health care, you're going to have to take this. And Yisrael ain't paying attention to how it's being walked down because we want to argue with people telling everybody that the white man is Esau. Some stuff now is moot points. Know who you are and serve the one that called you. Watch this. Better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof. Here we're nearing the end of a kingdom now. We're ending the end of an era of wickedness. And we all sitting around sad about it. America got to go. It's got to go. Many of the Hebrews, they wanted Kamala Harris to win, thinking that if Kamala won, it would prolong things and slow it down, get a little better. Y'all would put this idiot in because this idiot went in there hating some of his own people and the stuff that they did. And he dismantling all their stuff while simultaneously he building up something that's yet to come. I ain't cheerleading either one on either way. All I know is this: Yahweh put this one in there because he's hastening the time. And if the children of Israel ain't paying attention and can't read the sign, they might as well be quiet. I got so many people sending reels. I counted it the other day. Boy, I ain't even gonna tell y'all the number, man. Just all the reels people sent me Tuesday. All the reels, the stupid stuff, just Tuesday from 7:30. I think was the first one came through. From 7:30 to like 11:30. All these reels. People sending stuff to me. I don't look at none of it because the Spirit never commanded me to look at it. It be wearing me down. I want to know see. 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 Then the devil picks and chooses. Nitpick my page, my friends, different people. Now I got all the white folk. I went back through followers. All them white folk that was in my inbox. Nigger, blackie, this, that. All of them. Guess what they doing? They followers. So I'm like, oh, really? So y'all want to see some news reels and some video clips, do you? Okay, you're going to regret it. I'm telling you, as of sunset today, you're going to regret it. You have no idea. You think you disrespected me. You got one that can pray. And again, sometimes when you realize how powerful you are, you got to stay humble. But use the power wisely. Ain't no need of wanting to cut no lumber or wood or anything in your house, and you got a skill saw sitting right there, but you won't plug the damn thing up. You're going to keep on fighting with a dull-bladed handsaw. Plug the damn thing up and cut it. You got the power, right? Why walk around in your house in the dark all day, every day? What you pay the gas and lunch bill? Flip the switch. Turn the lights on. So white folk want to be punished. Okay, now I'm a nigga. That's what y'all keep saying. But when the nigga flip out on you on social media and Facebook and start putting them reels of that truth out there, don't get mad. Just say, Abba Yahweh, we brought this on ourselves. We unleashed the Kraken. We kept right on messing with it. We go, okay, that's what you're looking for. One video clip talking to black people about sin and crime. They got mad and shared it. 45,000 views in 1 week. We don't get that many views on the channel. One reel, less than 5 minutes, 45,000 views, sharing it all over and mad with me for speaking the truth. Okay, you want to fight? It's the fight you're going to get. You're going to regret it. You think Mike Tyson told you he won't be beat by anyone. Y'all sure on my side, and I ain't show up to lose. Better is the end of a thing than the beginning. So, America, your end has come. Hallelujah. And the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit. That's what we're saying to you all. Stop that old pride now, that old anger, that old hatred, that animosity. That's why Israel can't even get along with each other, because so much pride, mad about something. They wouldn't look at me. They didn't give me a 3-pronged fork. I got a 4-pronged fork. Did it pick the meat up? Did it pick the vegetables up? Did it go to your mouth? Okay, damn it, get over it. This is the stupid stuff Israel do. This every month, every week, every day, a beef among Yisrael. But told me, Elder, a lot of stuff you say, I watch your channel, a lot of stuff you say, I want to debate you. I said, how old are you? I'm 34. I'll be 35 in December. I said, well, listen carefully. You go debate your daddy. Go debate your daddy. And I'm going to tell you why. In fact, I ain't going to tell you nothing. You go debate your daddy. You want to learn? You call me or you come sit with me. Debate, we shall not do. Because if we both have the same Torah and we sit here and debate the Torah, we try and prove Yahweh's word wrong. Ain't got time to debate with you. You're young. You think you know something. Really? Watch this. Be not hasty in thy spirit to be angry. For anger rests in the bosom of fools. You hear that? Don't be so quick to get angry about everything. Calm down sometime. Say not thou, what is the cause of the former days were better than these? For thou dost not inquire wisely concerning it. In other words, stop talking about, yeah, back in the day, those were the good old days. There was this, that, and that. Yahweh put you in the days he wanted you to be born in. So don't go inquiring about the former day. Yeah, back then it was better than this. Yeah, but Yahweh put you in the time that causes you to either receive salvation or lose it altogether. So you see how he says, don't go inquiring about that. Our fathers in the days of old, they had their trials and tribulation. Abraham might not have to contend with his children with Xbox 360 or Twitter and all this other stuff, but there was something in their day that they still had to do. Remember when Noah came off the ark? The distraction of the day, there were demons eating the children. Cancer was moving at a very astronomical rate. Shortly after Noah came out the ark and his children and grandchildren began to multiply, he had to go to Abba Yahweh. He had to pray. He had to be given the cures for how to get rid of cancer. Are you hearing what I'm saying? We're that type of knowledge at today. You can't talk to our young men today. Young men today are dullards, man. They have no energy. They have no motivation. They have no nothing. Well, that's the next generation of leadership in Yisrael with no motivation, no knowledge of nothing, soft, emotional. Women, don't get offended. This is just truth. Tell truth. Women move in the world 9 times out of 10 based on what? What was that? Emotions, feelings. Okay, that's what I thought. Men, 9 times out of 10, move in the world based on what? Thank you. Say that again. Supposed to be logic. What'd you say? You. Bingo. And she said, supposed to be logic. But before that, what'd you say? Y'all heard her? You heard her? All right now. Who raised that generation? See what y'all did? See what you did? Mom. See what you did? You did it. That ain't excusing the men. See, this one I'm sorry, but you cannot bring it up because before you get to the men, there's always that one woman. And the man, shut your ass up. Because see, you go back and check the historic record. When Yahweh came and chastised Adam, Hawa, and the serpent, y'all got a problem that Hawa didn't have because she didn't respond. She shut up. The serpent didn't say a word. He shut up. The only one that was able to talk back to Yahweh was the man. He had to give an account. And even then, he wasn't woofing and hot-mouthing. See, that's what you can't teach women today. They got so much of this and all that emotion, you can't get a point across. And then when they run the men out of the home, the scripture says it is better to dwell on the corner of a housetop than in a wide house with a brawling and contentious woman. That's sad when that's written in Yahweh's word. Now, you can say it's sexist, racist, you can call it whatever you want to call it, but let me tell y'all something. It's in the book a little bit too often for there not to be something behind it that has to be searched out. We all have to search out our faults. You can't get to one point because as soon as you start getting on this point, they say that. If you're saying something to the men over here and getting on them, first thing, what the men say? You know, all the men don't know what the men say. I'll tell you what they say. Well, what about the women? See, everybody's a deflector. Soon you get on one about what they doing. You ain't had a chance to get over here yet to get the other side. Soon you get on them, they want to, well, don't be looking at me. What about her? You get over there and get talking to her and explaining certain things. Well, don't be talking to me like that. What about him? Okay, so if everybody's going to be playing, why don't we just go play an international game of tennis with the word? That way don't nobody blame nobody, but just keep smacking the ball till y'all sure come back. Right? We have to take corrective measures. And that's our problem. Don't nobody ever want to be corrected. Only people in the world that can ever be corrected and can't do nothing about it or can't say nothing about it is the preachers. Funny thing how everybody can correct the preachers. I'll wait. I'll be here all day, but I'll wait. Here's the point to this, Yisrael. We got this soft young generation out here now. You can't teach them, you can't tell them nothing, right? Women, you will not be able to tell your sons how to be a decent man because you feminized them so bad that when he start dating and dealing with women, he's dealing with a woman that now he acting just like her. And she's like, the hell wrong with him? He had more moods and mood swings than me. So now she can't have a good man. But a good man can't be told how to be a good man from a woman whose mother didn't honor her father. Ah! Mm-hmm. See, you got them masculine women out here now telling the man what it is to be a good man. Was your father a good man? Did your mother honor your father as a good man? Because see, children learn what they live. Okay? These young brothers out here spazzing out, flipping and all this stuff. Come on, man. They learned that stuff from their mothers in the absence of their fathers. Manhood don't just come upon us and they just grow and be masculine and righteous. No, it has to be taught. It has to be passed down. Yahweh said in that law, teach this to thy sons and to thy sons' sons. Other verses, he goes and he said, and teach this to thy children and to thy children's children. We don't want nothing said. And that's why everybody get all offended, get all bent out of shape today, right? You want to know what kind of woman you're marrying, gentlemen? From here on out, go to the house, sit down with the family, do whatever, but watch mama. Pay attention to mom. Pay attention to how mom treats dad. Pay attention to how mom talks about men. Pay attention to how mom deals with the house. Pay attention to how the house is clean. Pay strict attention because that's what you taking on if you get married. And I in no way speak against marriage, but I'm just saying we got a responsibility as men because at the end of the day, you got to fix and build and heal stuff that you didn't even break. Am I correct? You started in the beginning. Adam had to get stuff in order and get it in line, stuff that he didn't initially break. He broke because he took of it and he did eat. He partook of something. Hey, it became genetic. It went through all of our nature. Everything Adam did, we as men start picking it up. Everything Hawa did, we as women, you start picking it up. So let's be real, y'all. It all started in the beginning. And right now, as life is beating us down, we are not understanding this. We are not understanding because now we're trying to fit in as a round peg in a square hole. You're not going in it. We can only fit in if we fall back in line with the word of Yahweh's Torah. So as life beats us down, we want all of this blessing. We want all of this deliverance. We want all these things to be brought our way, but we're really not paying Yahweh no attention right now. Real quick, watch this. Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 16. Hold your point at chapter 7. 7 is my lead-off point, okay? Ecclesiastes chapter 3. Watch this. See, some of this stuff in life that we're going through now, we ain't getting to it. (3:16). And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment, that wickedness was there. And the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there. Look at what he's saying happened. The place where there should be fairness, justice, and righteousness. What did he say was there? Wickedness. And the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there. So things have shifted. So we got to watch it. We got to acknowledge things have shifted, right? And I said in my heart, Yahweh shall judge the righteous and the wicked. For there is a time there for every purpose and for every work. And I said in my heart concerning the estate of the sons of men, that Yahweh might manifest them, and that they might see that they themselves are beasts. He broke this thing down. We've gone so low now, we think like the animal kingdom thinks. We've gone so far from him. For that which befalleth the sons of men befalleth the beasts. Even one thing befalleth them. As the one dieth, so dieth the other. Yeah, they have all one breath, so that a man have no preeminence above a beast, for all is vanity. Damn, look how we got it now. We just ain't nothing going on now because we've been brought so low. Yahweh said, do a comparative analysis of it. I'll get to it later where the scriptures show you the spirit of man goes back upward. He take that spirit back upward, but the spirit of the beast doesn't go up because beasts don't have a soul that is to be saved. You get that? We have to know and understand how Yahweh made us. All go unto one place, and all are of the dust, and all turn to dust again. Who knows the spirit of a man that goeth upward? You getting this? Your spirit goes back to Yahweh, right? Who knoweth the spirit of man that goeth upward, and the spirit of the beast that goeth downward to the earth? You get it? See, even the Native Americans used to tell the white folk, be careful killing off all these animals, the buffalo and everything, because their spirit had to go back into the earth from whence they came. But because the things that were doing all the killing and everything were not spiritual and couldn't receive it, their receptors were so low, they couldn't hear even what the Native Americans were trying to get them to understand. So the scripture says to us in the book of Numbers that you got to be careful even with killing, because the land cannot be cleansed except by the blood of him who shed it. See, in modern day 2025, when somebody tell you, hey, look, the statistics, the numbers of modern day lynchings inside of the last 10 years are at 12,000 and rising, you ain't hearing that. Did you hear me? 12,000 lynchings and rising that you ain't hearing because somebody's labeling death after death after death as no human involved or suicide, and you ain't getting it? Come on, Yisrael. We're not paying attention to what's up against us because we're going up against Yahweh. Watch it. For which cause I perceive that there's nothing better than that a man should rejoice in his own works, for that is his portion. For who shall bring him to see what should be after him? You don't know what's going on after you once you die. Right now, we always mad and bitter and sad and got an excuse for not liking each other, not liking one another. But yet one of the primary commandments was love. For if you have love among yourselves, what did it say about the love? That your love for each other shall cover a multitude of sins. We ain't getting it. We are not understanding it. And when Yahweh bring a thing to our attention and our understanding, where we start seeing it different, you feel different. You think different. You start understanding a lot better. But we're not learning anything because we think we already know or we're exempt from learning. Let's go further. Listen to what he said, because see, I'm talking to you about what to do when life beats us down, right? Come on. So I returned and considered all the oppressions that are done under the sun. And behold, the tears of such as were oppressed, and they had no comfort. Who comforts black people today? Who comforts black people? Thank you. Nobody. Watch this. And on the side of their oppressors, there was power, but they had no comfort. White folk, y'all ain't happy. Got every damn thing, always mad. Ain't happy, got it all. Ku Klux Klan and niggers, because your dumbass child can't read and can't count. And you put him out in the woods by a tree with a gun. He gets so mad because he can't make it. Because you stupid. Now he's stupid. Only thing he can do now, he go shoot up a whole school. What that got to do with Man and Boo Boo and Pookie or Mike? We can get them any day we choose to, right or wrong. So how does white crime have anything to do with black crime when we know we should keep Yahweh's commandment? You got to say something to them. But those folks on a national, perpetual, 3,000-year killing spree and can never see it, you mean to tell me you don't see something's wrong with the ruling class of this world? Kill anybody and cover it up and say nothing. Come on, y'all. And Solomon observed, he said, the people are oppressed and they have nothing to comfort them. But on the side of the oppressors, they got power, and yet they have no comforter. So now everybody's without Yahweh. Everybody's without Yahshua until we acknowledge it. And we should be able to acknowledge Yahshua more so because we know the racial connection behind. We don't want to deal with the racial connection, but we have to, because here's somebody took all your history, erased everything. I'm so sick of white folk, I don't know what to do. I say that, bro. I'm sick of y'all. Y'all take everybody and make them your hero. You ain't even got no connection to the biblical character. Cut it out. I'm so sick of white men with biblical names. Shalom, Elder. I'm Enoch. Click. Shalom, Elder. I'm Canaan. Click. No. Call me. Shalom, Elder. I'm Jerry. I'm Peter. Okay, I can accept that. Y'all coming out, you taking on biblical name with none of the characteristics of those people and expect us to sit and listen to you. Fair warning. I won't listen to none of you preach to me. I won't have it. Your track record is untrustworthy. You cannot be trusted with the truth. Cannot be trusted with a broken tooth, much less the truth. For which cause, listen to Solomon, I praise the dead, which are already dead, more than the living, which are yet alive. Yeah, better is he than both of they, which have not yet been, who have not seen the evil work that is done under this sun. In other words, he praised the dead and the unborn, more so than those of us that are alive. Why? Because the unborn, they ain't been here. They ain't done nothing. They ain't seen it yet. Those that are dead, they can't do no more. You mean to tell me these folks that done murdered us, killed us, lied to us about Yahweh, hid Yahshua's precious name, did all of this, and died with no judgment, no justice, nothing ever happened to them? Yahweh gonna save them. No repentance. No. You ain't reading Yahweh's word like you ought to if you sitting around thinking like that. And here now, these people are the children of the oppressors, doing the same stuff, making it so hard for you. They're going to make people fall in line with this mark of the beast system. And I keep telling people how they're going to do it, but they want to argue and debate me. That's fine. It's all right. Hear what they said they're going to do. U.S. employers are becoming more comfortable with layoffs. What that mean? Becoming more comfortable with layoffs. This is what they said, in case y'all ain't understanding it. See, those of us that were out in the job market in the 90s, you remember that the 1990s went through this rough time where there was no hiring. The 90s, they went through downsizing and all this other stuff. We can get rid of a large portion of our workforce and we'll make everybody work extra hard. We'll get more done with less. And then that was even their phrase, less is more. Remember that? Less is more, like Baltimore's governor. That was, I'm giving that man named Les Moore. His name is Wes Moore, right? Same difference. When you build things, less. He ain't doing nothing. Less more. So let me see if I got this straight. You know what? I ain't got time. Just thinking about him gave me a headache just now. Anyway, I'm reading the article. I'm trying to figure out where they're going with this stuff. So what they did was they were saying, let me read this real quick so y'all people know where they stand. Corporate America has ended its firing freeze. Companies scrambled for years after the pandemic to build back their workforces, learning a simple lesson along the way. Keep the workers you got, because if you lose them, it'll be hard. You'll have a hard time getting them back. The job market softened in recent months, however, making a safer environment for companies to start streamlining their workforces. So a host have pounced on this, including Amazon.com, UPS, Target, Meta Platform, all which have announced tens of thousands of layoffs in recent weeks. In fact, Verizon just announced that they're doing 15% of their workforce. Verizon has 100,000 employees. So 15,000 are getting laid off. That leaves them with 85,000. I was doing some basic mathematics to just get a gleaning of their payroll at $1,500 a week. $1,500 for average employee at 85,000 came out to like $1,270 million per week in just money that's being paid. So that's a lot of people when you consider that. And that was only at like 80% because I didn't take the corporate execs whose salaries might be 3 or 4 times that much. But just getting a general idea of that, they were saying we can save this money because we got others that we can squeeze this workload off on, and we ain't got to increase their pay and do other stuff. What we will not do is hire anybody else. We'll hold those of you that have a job. You better be thankful you got it. Don't get out of line because you can be replaced. Might not be as easy to replace you, but you can be replaced. Meanwhile, as they do this squeeze, they're making everything go digital. They're making it harder for people to get back in the job market. For those coming out of college or out of high school, making it harder for them to get in the job market. We just want to squeeze everything and or everybody. If we engineer enough wars, we can kill off some of them. We can do some other stuff. So they get to this point. But what they were saying was why they were becoming comfortable more so with the layoffs was because it's easier to pay unemployment right now than it is to keep you working, because of the evidence that AI is cutting into the demand for certain jobs, such as software development. The degree to which it is more broadly automating away most jobs is difficult to quite now tease out. But even if they haven't been able to widely implement AI yet, there's a belief that we will someday do so, and it could increase some of the employees' comfort with abandoning labor hoarding. In other words, we ain't keeping anybody. We're not keeping his labor positions. we'll get rid of you as we get AI on board. Now, AI has been talking when these people are asking it the right questions and the stuff that they're talking about, because they're basically saying to you, all right, those of you that do have a job, you'll accept this digital ID quicker than those that ain't got the job. And those that ain't got the job, you won't be able to buy or sell. All I'm saying to the children of Yisrael is that as the environment gets tougher, as life begins to squeeze down on us or beat us down, now you got to remember some things that Yahshua said. Things that you're going to have to apply in the job market, things that you're going to have to apply in the house, things that you're going to have to apply mathematically, things you're going to have to apply socially, economically. There were things that he said, and I got to get into those things, but I'm determined. I'm going to take my time and point this out, right? See, every day is not always going to be a bad day, even as this thing collapses. Just as every day is not always a good day. What we as Yahweh's people have to be cognizant of the fact now that we got some trouble coming up on us. Even some of us, when you go to speak to different brothers and sisters, I spoke with Kenya, I spoke with Sister Lorna Smithson. I read the letter from Brother Stephen Diaz, the text messages, different things where Yisrael is going through things. We're going through stuff where we're all not able to be talked down from the lamppost. We're not all able to be talked down from the edge of the mountain where we feel like it's all over and the only thing I got left to do is jump. No. We got to hold on now, because out of some of the worst of times is coming some of the greatest blessings and miracles that Israel has ever seen. You want biblical blessings, you want great things in your life when the social conditions don't call for great things. Some days, sometimes I have some of the most boring weeks, but it's so damn exciting because Yahweh's involved. I was at the light the other day, right? Coming in with squirrel. He just running across the light pole. The little wires on the light. Squirrel. He was getting it. Just got his little balance. Just run. Stop. Shalom, El John. Keep on going. I'm looking at the squirrel, right? Man, look at him. He ain't afraid of height. He got his balance. His little body movement just say he is so happy. He probably praising y'all. Bam, bam, bam. Somebody ready to go. Preacher sitting there looking at a squirrel, thinking that the squirrel thanking Yahweh for his life. Nothing special happened. Nothing biblical about it. Person behind me wanted to get home, probably had dinner to eat, whatever it was they wanted to do. I'm sitting there holding them up, staring at a squirrel. What's so special about that? Here is my point. You have days like that all day, every day. Stop looking for some biblical moment out of it. There was nobody behind Noah in the ark blowing and tooting their horn. Get that boat out of my way. Move, nigga. Wasn't none of that. But yet judgment was going on. My point here, that's us as Yisrael. We're always looking for these exciting moments when sometimes it ain't exciting. It's so boring, you miss the beauty of it. The squirrel, he went across one little line. He didn't do no great balancing act. He went on across on faith and didn't worry about falling. Here you and I walking on a big old wide sidewalk. We can't figure out whether or not we're going to drop it any minute. Am I making sense yet? See, we ain't serving Yahweh like we ought to because we ain't thankful. You know the difference between that squirrel and us? Somewhere, he probably got a whole boatload of nuts and everything he done put up for the winter. Y'all see that reel on social media at the time where they called the Comcast people out? And he opened, you see them power lines with a little box, little thing about that long on the line. And the people was complaining the internet service was moving slow in the router. When the man went up there, what happened? Anybody see it? The squirrel put all the nuts up in there. It was packed so tight, they slowed down the people's Wi-Fi, their bandwidth and everything out. And when the man screwed it open to check the wiring, all of the nuts fell out because the squirrel put his food up high off the ground. He had enough sense to take a stash where nobody would have thought to look. And he can go get as much as he wanted to go get, eat during the snowstorm or whatever, and he was covered and good to go. We are man and woman in the earth and can't think past go. Mad in our feelings, in our emotions, angry with the world, angry with everybody, ain't thanking Yahweh for nothing that he's done for us when he told you sufficient unto the day is its own evil. You sitting around worrying about how you going to do this, do that. Y'all should have told you be anxious for nothing. Calm down. If Yahweh got you, why are you so upset trying to do his job? You ain't even doing your own job, right? Nobody, y'all ain't bad witness. I don't know what you are doing. I'm doing mine. Go ahead. No, you ain't. You ain't thinking. How many of you had a moment of doubt this week? Thank you. I appreciate y'all honesty. On the other hand, everybody, I don't doubt nothing. I don't doubt. What you really mean when you say, I don't doubt, what you really mean is, I know I can't. Anyway, we'll come back to that point. Y'all ain't fooling me. See, human behavior is called out in this book. Let's go a little further. You got to hear this. So Solomon said he praised the dead more than the living. Yeah, better is he than both they that have not yet been, who have not seen the evil work that is done under the sun. And again, I considered all the travail and all the right work. For all this, a man is envy and is of his neighbor. This is also vanity and vexation of spirit. Let me read that again. I considered all travail and every right work, that for this, for doing right, a man is envy of his neighbor. Now, I don't think nobody in the building know that story better than me. Got a neighbor can't stand me. Do no matter what we do, I can pull out of a parking space. This is no lie. I can pull out of a parking space. He got parked right there. When you come back, you won't park here because I'll put mine there. Wicked. I can go out and sweep the sidewalk. He got to get up the next day. I'll sweep it 10 times better than him. Just crazy. You got one? See? Just crazy. Got to top you. Here the word says, for right work, that a man is envied of his neighbor. He won't keep a single commandment, though. This is also vanity. Look what the word says it is. Vanity and vexation of the spirit. I pulled out of a space the other day. He and his wife were parking. They were up the street. Get out your vehicle and go in the house. What'd he do? I couldn't even go down to the corner, make a U-turn and come back up. By the time I got, what'd he do? Right in the spot. Had to let me know, I'm in it. I don't care. Certain hours of the evening, if you're not in the house, you're going to have to park. I do it all the time. You got to park a block, maybe 2 blocks, and walk to the house. I don't care. You know why? Y'all would bless me and fix it so everybody know me. Everybody. I parked in, bro. Hey, bro, how you doing, man? Good to see you. I said, good to see you. He said, man, I ain't seen you in a minute. I said, yeah, sometime I get up there by my house. He said, well, you safe here. Park there. I got you. See how y'all would make it? Park there. I got you. 2 blocks from my house. I walk on up the street. One night, walking up the street, I left here a little after 9. Parked and walked up the street, and guess who I ran into? A deer. Oh, dear. Yeah, I'm walking up the street, deer walking down. We looking at each other like this. So the deer was like, you know what? Okay, you a man of y'all. You go, you take the sidewalk. I'll go on in the street. And the deer tried on down in the street. And I was like, wow, that thing huge. They huge. They are big. Anyway, y'all made him get out the way. I ain't say a word. You get on out the way. The fool foldeth his hands together and eats his own flesh. That's how the fool get. They feel comfortable. They lay back. Better is a handful with quietness than both hands full with travail and vexation of spirit. Then I returned and saw vanity under the sun. There is one alone. Listen to this carefully now. And there is not a second. Yeah, he hath neither child nor brother. Yet is there no end of all his labor. Who is that? Neither is his eye satisfied with riches. Neither saith he, for whom do I labor and bereave my soul of good? This is also vanity. Yeah, it is a sore travail. Who is that verse talking about? Because Yahshua ain't worked for your salvation and then get mad and get tired. So I did all this for Yisrael and they ain't do nothing. They won't even live right. They won't even walk up by. He ain't complained. And here we sit back and don't pay attention to the beauty of what's in Yahweh's word. That's why we can't make it as a people. See, the lesson learned on not smart talking Abba Yahweh is missed by a lot of people. Let me say that again. The lesson to be learned on not smart talking Yahweh is missed by a lot of people. And you know how it's missed? All you got to do is quote something deep in Yahweh's word that most people haven't thought of and see if they don't smart talk you real quick as a preacher. Everybody always got something smart to say all the time. Well, watch this. Let's go to the book of Job real quick, chapter 40, and show you something. Don't make this mistake. Though Job made the mistake for us already, now learn from his mistake because he learned from it and his mistake was beautiful. Job chapter 40, verse 1. Listen to this. Moreover, Yahweh answered Job and said, shall he that contendeth with the Almighty instruct him? He that reproveth Yahweh, let him answer it. You think you're going to Yahweh? You're going to reprove him? Then Job answered Yahweh and said, behold, I am kalal, meaning I'm vile. I'm nothing. Ain't nothing I can even open my mouth and say, I'm kalal. What shall I answer you? I will lay my hand upon my mouth. He says to Yahweh, yeah, once have I spoken, but I will not answer. Yeah, twice, but I will proceed no further. See, that's us today. A lot of times people, we have a problem just shutting up. We can't be corrected because we always got to answer, always got to defend ourselves. Sometimes we're wrong in a thing, even in just spirit and just mind, just the way we receive it sometimes. When you're dealing with Yahweh, you're dealing with the ultimate in righteousness. So there's nothing none of us can say. None of us. Let's go further because this conversation gets interesting. Then answered Yahweh unto Job out of the whirlwind. You hear that? He spoke to him out of the whirlwind. Gird up now your loins like a Geber, and I will demand of you, declare thou unto me. Geber, now this is, you're a man now. There's a difference between the Geber and the Enosh. The Geber is a strong man. This is a warrior. This is a tough man now. This man with the muscles. He's a fighter. He's a warrior. So he says, gird up your clothes like a strong man now. Come on out here with this. You're a strong man, but you got great spiritual strength. Come before me, and I will demand of you, declare unto me, will you also disannul my judgment? Will you condemn me that you might be righteous? Hast thou an arm like Yahweh, or canst thou thunder with a voice like him? Deck yourself now with majesty and excellency. Any man in the building can do that? And array yourself with glory and beauty. Cast abroad the rage of your wrath, and behold, everyone that is proud and abasing. You get mad, ain't that what the young men do today? Young generation spaz out, just flip out. Cast your rage abroad. Flip out on the white man. Go dismantle everything. Take the government down. Go over there and say, hex up, get the hell out. I'm here now. Throw them out. Army, Navy, Air Force. Catch them at a football game. They Army, Navy play every year, don't they? Catch them while they're vulnerable, playing football. Overthrow them. Flip out on them. Yahweh told Job, come do that to me. Deck yourself. And what he say? With majesty. Cast abroad the rage of your wrath. Look on everyone that's proud and bring him low. Tread down the wicked in their place. Look at the poor little black man. Can't do it right now, can he? We need some supernatural help. Poor little black man can't get nothing together. After a while, all the Hebrews getting together in the purple and gold. That's beautiful, man. That's awesome. But let's be real. Y'all ain't got two guns to put in each hand to defend yourself on a small scale. So what difference does it make to parade your army when your army ain't fully cleansed? I'm not downing us. I'm just being real with what we're going through. See, after a while, you get sick of seeing us just being marched through the street. Okay. Nation of Islam, Million Man March. How long ago was that? 30 years ago. Get a bean pie from the brother the other day. Here, I'm going to give you this paper. It's about the Million Man March. Not thinking, I spoke out of turn. I said, what about it now? I ain't mean it, but that was, y'all know me. Okay, so what about it now? I'm thinking they calling for a third one. Because they did the Million Man March. Then they marched on the anniversary of the Million Man March, right? And then they meet or march because they thought about the Million Man March or something like that? Or didn't they have a meeting about the Million Man March because they were thinking that maybe they didn't get enough men? Anyway, here's my point. You asked for 1 million men to march in D.C. You asked for 1 million. 2 showed up. 30 years later. What happened? What happened? Be real with yourself. What happened? 30 years later, we still marching? Y'all can't answer it, neither can I. See, when Yisrael marched, they sang about that one. And the walls came tumbling down. They sing that to this day. So you go over there and march. Okay, you made the president run. Now, that had to be the funniest thing black people ever did in America. You ever see a mutt, a dog that just bark all the time, and you just shut up and you run at him, he jump up on the porch? Well, remember when black men made Bill Clinton get out of Washington and he went to Texas and made this speech? Y'all remember that? See, when the Million Man March happened in, when was it, 95? Bill Clinton was president then. Clinton got on an airplane, got out of Washington, D.C. He went to Hillbilliesville, Texas, and he made a speech. He turned around. The stage and everything was facing Washington, D.C. You got to check the symbolism of this. On the stage, it was facing Washington, D.C. Now he sold tickets and giving his speech. But they ran you out your state because 1 million men showed up. See, you were scared that the million might just walk down the street and get you. Y'all ain't understanding your power. You ain't understanding your power. 1 million men. See them that day, they had them big silver trash cans. And y'all got them big trash cans at your house, the big silver ones with the top. You remember them trash cans? See, Farrakhan had them. They was going through the crowd. They was collecting money. You know you getting some money anytime you need a trash can. Little assembly here. We got a little offering box. We got a little bitty box. We put little stuff in. We make do whatever we got. So you wait a minute, I was gonna say this. We gave a lecture years ago, right? We spoke at a community center, and the old lady said, "Son, go back in that closet, get all them chairs, put all them chairs out." So we put all the chairs out. We was gonna lecture. The lecture was entitled "Educators or Mind Murderers in Public Schools." It was a real hot lecture. The community paid it no mind. Anyway, me and Brother Talib passed out over 1,000 flyers, right? 2 people showed up. That was my father and my sister. But anyway, a little old lady that rented the community center out to us. You know, we put out some of the chairs. We figured wasn't a lot of people coming out, so we put little chairs out. And it must have been like 100, 200 chairs in there in the little closet. She said, "Son, let me tell you how God works. Now, God don't send you no more people than the chairs you put out. So go in there and get all them chairs. Put all them chairs out. That way he'll pack this house for you." So we put all them chairs out, and 2 people showed up. I was hot with her and her God. But anyway, ironically, the cassette tape back then, this is how long ago this was. The cassette tape was selling. People was writing and calling. They were really requesting that cassette because we were telling them they're changing the school curriculum in such a way where they're going to have your children wanting to be men and women and all this other stuff, gay and lesbian stuff. We were breaking down how they did it. So more people were requesting it than people came out to actually hear us do it live. Her point was, he ain't going to send you no more people than the chairs you put out. So I was just laughing to myself. I said, okay, he ain't going to send you no more financial aid or help than the size of the offering box you put out. So maybe we need to just get us one of them Farrakhan trash cans and just put it out. Anyway, enough of that. So listen to this as Yahweh lays this out for Job. Hide them in the dust together, verse 13, and bind their faces in secret. Then will I confess unto you that your own right hand can save you. So in other words, Yahweh told Job, you all that mad? Cast down the wicked. Raise your voice like I do in the thunder. Do all of this stuff, and then I'll acknowledge you for what you are. So we as Yahweh's people have to acknowledge his might. He's not going to forsake us as life starts beating us down, as they throw us off the system. I do tell you, brothers and sisters, that as they throw us off the system, it's going to look rough at first. But sometimes you got to stop and look at a thing differently. You have to look at the thing from Yahweh's perspective. In fact, that's what Yahweh says to Yisrael in his word in Psalm 32. He tells you, you know, well, I done got ahead of myself, but I guess I better go there, right? He tells you in the Psalms that as it gets rough on you, I will guide you. There is no greater blessing than to see a thing through the eyes of Yahweh. See, when I write, and I'm putting Bible lessons and things together, I do two things. Number one, I talk to myself. And a lot of times people in the house, huh? What? No, thinking out loud, saying something. I'm not talking to anybody. I'm talking out loud. But I also will get up and I'll walk around my work and I'll look down on it and see what I wrote and I'm looking at it. Because in looking down on it, I visualize it, looking at it from Yahweh's perspective. See, he sees it all. As the old folks always said, we serve a mighty Elohim. He sits high and looks low. He sees everything. He's so high, you can't get over him. He's so wide, you can't get around him. He's so low, you cannot go under him. See, our parents, our foreparents, our brothers and sisters, even in their weakened, wicked state, George Clinton told the people that. And they still missed it. And all of the drugs and the acid dropping, poor old Yisrael, poor old people's souls were crying out. In their record, Parliament said, he's so high, you can't get over him. So low, you can't go on. They put it in a song. Then the Jewish community who mock us and go around, they little dreidel and all this other stuff. He came back and mocked them in Flashlight because that was the theme. He got them right back. But, see, y'all be missing when your own brothers and sisters be trying to fight back. He mocked them because his best friend growing up was a child named Byron, who was Jewish. And they were having a bar mitzvah in the backyard. And he's sitting up laughing at the Jewish community, running around in the yard. That's them. So when Flashlight came out, all the black people was in the club doing all this stuff while George Clinton was fighting back and laughing at him and mocking him. And you wasn't paying it no attention. Neither did you hear what he said in the song. He said, everybody's got a little light under the sun. Under the sun. He told you. He was trying to tell it. But y'all ain't listening. Because you too busy listening to Bernie Worrell's bass line. See? He said that Elton John every week. He talking about R&B. I'm telling you for a reason. Because you're the sons and daughters of the prophets. Your little people crying out every way they know how. How is it that the blacker we are as a people, the worse we get? Then the lighter we are as a people, the more pro-black we are. You get what I'm saying? See. All right, I got to do this. Shannon Sharp didn't know to resist a white woman. Didn't know. Colin Kaepernick stood up, said, damn the NFL. Damn everybody. You ain't going to keep doing this to my people. He stood up. Half-breed. Tried to get it right. But the darker we are, the more we hate ourselves. What's wrong with us if there's not a chemical, a biological imbalance? Something got you so thrown off now. We miss things now because we don't pay attention to nothing. We ain't listening to Yahweh's word. We ain't listening to nothing. When life starts beating you down. Question. How many of us are sometimes innocent, but yet we're still suffering things? Not declaring our own self-righteousness, but just sometimes suffering when you're innocent, but you know you're going through something simply because you're righteous. How many? Can I get any hands on that? Now, truth be told, I should see more hands than I do see. Some stuff, you're just going through it because you're Yahweh's people. We know we have our sins. We're not declaring our own righteousness, but you're going through something. How about if I tell you that there is a psalm, a prayer, what we'll call the innocent one's prayer? How about that? Can we find that? Would you be happy today if you go home with the innocent person's prayer? Nah, I ain't tell y'all nothing. How about that? Service over. Good to go? So y'all gonna make me go in there and find it? Really? Let's do it. Psalm 17. Watch this. You got to be listening to how the brother was praying. See, one thing about King David that Yisrael gonna have to understand now. You don't get a better example of somebody screwing up time after time, and keep getting right on track with Yahweh. That ain't no license to any of us. That ain't no credit card to keep sending. That's not what it was. This is Yahweh's mercy. Look, now I'm getting a little tired of you. Get on back in line. Next thing you know, you down there, you out again, messed up. Oh, wait a minute, Yahweh. Whoa, I ain't mean it. Yahweh, now look, Dawid, I ain't gonna keep on telling you. I'm getting a little sick of you now. Get in line. You understand? He kept on messing up, like you, like me, like him, her, them. Now, I ain't talking to the self-righteous with, you're not talking to me, Elder Johnson. Shut your face, you bald-headed man. I'm holy. Anyway, Psalm 17. Listen to the way in which this man was talking. Listen to this. Hear the right, O Yahweh. Attend unto my cry. Give ear unto my prayer that goeth not out of fiend lips. First step. I ain't lying. I ain't faking. Listen to me, Yahweh. This is the prayer coming out of my mouth. I'm not faking. I'm not fiending. Remember that? Remember Jodeci? I'm fiending. Remember that? Look, see. Soon as I go to R&B, y'all can relate to it. Ain't that what Jodeci said? I know y'all don't like a preacher that can bring it all in together like that. You should be able to tie it in. That help you stay on track. Somebody got to be listening, right? Let my sentence come forth from thy presence. Let thine eyes behold the things that are fair. Thou hast proved mine heart. Thou hast visited me in the night. Thou hast tried me and shalt find nothing. I am purpose that my mouth shall not transgress. In other words, I'm going to watch what I say. Concerning the works of men, by the word of thy lips, I have kept me from the paths of the destroyer. In other words, I paid attention to what you said, Yahweh. I made certain I didn't do this. That way I stayed out the paths of those that would destroy me. Hold up my goings in thy path, that my footsteps slip not. What did the psalmist say in Psalm 73? My steps had well nigh slipped. In other words, I damn near slipped. I almost sinned. I almost went the way of the wicked. Right? Dawid said here, my steps have not slipped. I have called upon you, for you will hear me, O Yahweh. Incline thine ear unto me and hear my speech. Show thy marvelous loving kindness, oh, that thou savest by thy right hand, them which put their trust in thee, from those that rise up against them. Women. What I mentioned last week. Third World had that song, what they say? And he said, seek ye shall find, those who believe I will save. Ain't that what they said? Brothers trying to tell you then. Now here's somebody in the psalm saying, you said this to us. If we believe, you'll save us. What's the purpose of sitting in the temple wasting time? Well, don't be like the brother showed up at the job. He showed up just in a bad attitude. Didn't even know why he was in a bad attitude. In a bad mood. So you know me, I started investigating. I asked him, what happened? What your woman, what she put you out? Ain't nobody put me out yet. And I said, yet? I realized with the word yet, that was supplied evidence. That meant getting close. See, we have to thank Yahweh. If we are alive, he has not destroyed us. Say it, yet. So what we mad about? We're still able to rejoice in Yahweh. You mean you can't find nothing to ever be happy in Yahweh about? Come on, man, please. I was happy to see the little squirrel go across the line. I looked at him like, he got some excellent balance. I can't do that. But he could go across the line, stop and look down in the truck. Where you going, Elder John? Going about his little business. But yeah, he has life. We have it, and we ain't even thankful. We act like the blessings of Yahweh are just automatic. I know the blessing of Yahweh better be in my account when I get there. I know salvation better be waiting for me when I get there. Why we got that attitude all the time? Come on, man. We messed up as a people and don't know how good we got it. Show thy loving kindness O thou that savest by thy right hand, them which put their trust in thee, from those that rise up against them. Sound like somebody innocent to me. Keep me as the apple of the eye. Hide me under the shadow of thy wings. Whoa, that's deep. Look what he say. From the wicked that oppress me, from my deadly enemies who compass me about. They are enclosed in their own fat. With their mouth, they speak proudly. And we sitting around siding with them. Man, that's terrible. Because life beating us down. I'm like young brother Julius. Now, ain't nothing special happened. And you know why ain't nothing special happened? Because Yahweh blessed you in such a way that you had an awesome day and you were too self-centered to even realize it. Nothing special happened. But in the back office, in the back room, when they were having a discussion, Yahweh made them overlook your name because you were slated for the layoffs. And Yahweh said, not that one. But yet you think nothing special happened. Yet you mad because you ain't got to do nothing. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of that. I'm sick of this Hebrew. I'm sick of that one. And people do that to me all the time. I don't even care no more. I've learned some stuff you can't even complain. My neighbor hate me like you wouldn't believe. I'm at that point in life, I don't even complain. I don't pay that man no mind. I don't pay that man no mind because that man mad with Yahweh. You ever sit and just watch somebody and Yahweh bless you with a reading and you understand what they're going through? Person hates you so bad because they hate Yahweh. Because Yahweh ain't doing for them what he doing for you. And here you ain't got nothing. They might have more than you. All this stuff. They got so much stuff going on in the world, and they're not even happy. Here you are scrambling, struggle. You do your little bills like everybody else do that, but you just so smooth, so mellow. You so blessed. They mad. I remember a little white man on the job. They fired me, but it ain't matter. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I ain't gonna never hide it from y'all. You know, you got to pray to be able to control yourself. Sometimes some people push you. So he was a little fat white man. He always had a bad attitude. You come in the morning, good morning. What's so damn good about it? And I didn't like the fact that he barked at me. So I said, the fact that I'm alive is good enough for me. The fact that, I had to throw a joke in there, the fact that I can climb up on that scaffold and go to the roof and you can't is good enough for me. And, you know, then I went on, got out of arm's reach, you know. He's a little chunky dude, about 350, 400 pounds. I was just teasing because I know he couldn't climb up there. So, hey, you know, what's good about it is good. In fact, I can go up there and you can't. Fat boy, stay on the ground. Anyway, people get mad and bitter about everything in life. Yahweh's people, the poor little children of Yisrael, you don't know praise and worship till you've been on your deathbed. You don't know how to thank Yahweh until you've been down, so sick, so ill, where you can't move, where you can't do nothing for yourself. And you're so concerned, you're praying for the one next to you because you hear them fighting and gasping for air. And you see where Yahweh hear your prayer for somebody else. You don't know what life and blessing is like until you see Yahweh move at the moment when there is no other opportunity left. You don't know praise and worship till Yahweh do something where you look up and realize only Yahweh did this. These were not human hands. Somebody talked to somebody on the phone about coming to our house, coming to see us. And I was in and out, sleep, drifting in and out, all this. I saw this person come out their house and get in their vehicle. I was miles away. I saw this person get in their car and crank the motor. And as they cranked their motor, giant wings shot out the side of their vehicle and brought them to our house in what seemed like 5 or 10 minutes. Remember I told you that? Remember that? You can't tell me what Yahweh won't do. He said he'll cover you under his wings. Sometimes even the earthly things of this earth, the medications and things of this earth, sometimes in this lifetime, Yahweh structure so, yeah, you need that. Get this, take that, do this, do that. Sometimes he structured it. He made the doctor just like he made the mechanic. He made the doctor just like he made the plumber. So, you know, a lot of us, we don't deal with them doctors and things on that level, and that's understandable. But sometimes in life, when Yahweh puts you behind enemy lines, you pray that Yahweh control the hands of those doctors that do the things that they do. You got to know how to talk to Yahweh. He can do all things. He can make a way when there is no way to be made. So when Yahweh give you permission and healing, and you got to say it and declare it, Devil was whispering, telling me you're getting ready to die. This is it. I'm thinking to myself, this is how it ends. How is that how it is? And I realized, no, I'm not going to die yet. And I remember that passage that said, I shall live and not die and shall declare the word of Yahweh. And the next day I was up walking around, and so was my counterpart. No, you can't convince me that I got to be mad and mean and broke down every day. I may preach with authority. I may preach with boldness or what have you. But those that sit around me and know good, my heart goes out to Yahweh's people. Because I look up and realize, you mean to tell me, if I really do learn how to love and learn the joy of love, just because I do love Yahweh's people and Yahweh's people love me and we love Yahweh and Yahweh love us back, you mean to tell me that I actually can have my slate wiped clean? He did say love shall cover a multitude of sins. We don't know how to love. We don't know how to love each other. We don't know how. Come on, man. You ever been, as a child, there's nothing like being sick. You got to go lay in mama's bed. You ever been through that? You just feel like if you can just get in mama's bed and curl up and lay down, you feel like you get healed up. You just feel like you just get so much better. Well, that's how my little office is. All my grandbabies come running, they're all running my office. And I'd be selfish thinking, come on, y'all, give me a little space. Let me sit down and read. But yet at the same time, I love it. I've been looking at it. I can't even move. Sometimes after the service, everybody come running to the office door and want to talk to me. And I'd be like, I'm a little tired, y'all. Can I get 5? But I still look up and love Yahweh's little people. Omi came to me today. She wasn't feeling too well, wasn't 100%. I said, I tell you what Papa going to do. I'm going to lay this cot out for you. If you feel like you're really not your best or whatever it is, come and lay down. Before Minister Taylor introduced me, who comes strolling in there to lay down in that little office? And the last thing I did was I prayed that y'all would let his spirit of healing reside right there upon her. That's how it is sometimes. I had a toothache in 1995, February of 95. Turned into an abscess and everything else. It swole my face up, made my face big. It locked my jaws. I couldn't get a Ritz crack in my mouth. The only thing I do was just drink liquids. Elder Johnson prayed for me, and we got to the hospital and everything. The doctors, they declared, they said, one more day, the poison would have run all through his body. He probably would have died. It was so painful. It was so horrendous. But my father, my best buddy, old pal, my homeboy, my friend, my brother, comrade, I leaned over on him. I was crying. He said that as he prayed for me, Yahweh let that pain come straight through me into his arm. And he said he never prayed for anybody anywhere in the world that had that kind of pain that I had. He could feel that pain and that suffering. But I felt like, not that he was Yahshua, but because he was a little man of Yahweh, I felt like if he just prayed for me, I was leaning up close to him, I'd feel better. Because he was a man of Yahweh. And that's exactly what happened. By the time they got that tooth out and they explained what happened and how they did the procedure and everything else, I wasn't really worried about the doctors. I thanked Yahweh that I had somebody there that knew how to pray. But more importantly than knowing how to pray, it was somebody that was not rattled, that was not shook up, that was not self-centered, that was not self-righteous, somebody that was so concerned, but yet unshaken. Just knowing, okay, you're brought to the brink of death, but Yahweh going to bring you out of it. And I stand here to this very day. I talk with brother. I go through this every week. Please. Anyway, I talked with brother Otis Scranton, whose wife died in a house fire a few months back. And he said one of the most beautiful things to me, right? Minister Johnson, Mr. Taylor, he was talking about how y'all pray. And he said a lot of times, even though you don't have the time and the space to call people's names in prayer, he said he thanked Yahweh for giving him the understanding that when you all pray, sometimes in between the words, he can just insert his own name and feel the power of Yahweh healing and bringing him through. And since the passing of his wife, brother said he had several strokes. Wasn't walking and wasn't talking. But yet we kept him in prayer. And Yahweh delivered him, and you hear him on that phone, he sound like a teenager. I thank Yahweh for things like that. As I tell the children of Israel, what I'm about to say, you brace yourselves. But you got to know this. You are in an era of time now, like the time of Noah. Everybody ain't going to be around for this mark of the beast. And that's not a bad thing if we pass off the scene. Y'all would call us off the scene. Because, see, if you've lived your life in the world, in the street, you didn't know Yahweh, and you come to Yahweh a few years ago, whatever the case may be, and you are so sincere, you're so serious, you're so dedicated to Yahweh. When I talk to Yahweh's people through text and calls and different things, people's faith comes out. You see them holding on, realizing that if by chance I die, I'm dying in the Messiah, and I believe this to the fullest. That's the kind of faith that we need. And I thank Yahweh for people like that, because we need that kind of strengthening too. You don't always get it. I had to work and oversee some stuff on some job sites. I'm the only black man there, and I'm in charge of all of them people, man. It's a real painful thing. When I look up and realize I feel their spirits, man, when they really don't like me. And yet they don't like me because I have power and authority over them. But yet I spend most of my time alone doing my paperwork or sitting in the truck, not even bothered with them or by them, because I trust in Yahweh. And I take a great delight in that, because my mind ain't on that work. My mind is on Yahweh's people and on Yahweh's work. And a lot of times when I tell people, I get tired of the talking and the broadcasting. I'd rather be that man out in the trenches with you, side by side with you, because you'll never know what I'm thinking or what I'm praying as we building or digging or planting or doing whatever. Because it's not all about being in the scene or in front of the camera as people think it is. They don't know the pain that goes on behind that camera. They don't know the suffering and the sorrow that the messengers deal with when the camera is turned off. They don't know that part. They don't understand what takes place before you get in front of the microphone. They don't know that part, because they think that your lives are just so beautiful, so peachy and keen that nothing goes wrong. They don't know about the aches and the pains. They don't know the sorrows. They don't know how sometimes you have to pause and pray for so many different people that you forget to pray for yourself. And then Yahweh confirm something in you. When somebody send you a text that just simply says, "Hey, brother, nothing special. I thought about you, and I pray that Yahweh shelter you and protect you." And you look up and say, "Hey, 10 minutes ago, I avoided an accident. And that probably was right around the time you thought of me out of the blue and prayed that Yahweh shield me." Come on, Yisrael. When life beats you down, you got to hold on just a little while longer, because the scripture does not say you're going to have 1 or 2 trials and you'll be good to go. That's not what it says. It says many are the trials. You get so tired, you get so fed up with it. You say, damn, every week, look like it's something, one thing after another. Yeah, that's what he said. One thing after another. When I've learned that this generation of Israel, we don't care. This is the generation that's going to be forced to have to care. And you know why they're going to be forced to care? Because we've never been without. Think about it. How many of you have ever been without gas and electricity for a great length of time? How many of you have been without food for a great length of time? How many have been without a home for a great length of time? Because we have not gone without, when we go without, we'll fall in line. Yes, sir. Yeah. That's what he said. What was the name of that song? Concentrate on you. Jeffrey Osborne. It takes separation to bring appreciation. Well, Jeffrey Osborne is a Hebrew Israelite, by the way, in case you didn't know that. You do know that, right? You got to check people's background. You got to look at stuff. You got to be paying attention to stuff. I pay attention to R&B now in my older years, more so than I ever have. You know why I pay attention now to it more than ever? Because with all of the information that's coming out with people talking about the record industry and all these other things, these are people whose creative spirit or creative genius was trying to communicate a message. And more often than not, the only way people could communicate their message was through music or through song, through singing. See, you don't get more creative than the Temptations when they produced Ball of Confusion. If you've ever heard it, think back to what they were singing about. See, they were talking about eve of destruction, tax deduction, city inspectors, bill collector. They was just running it all down, telling you about how things were in the world. And that was in the late 60s. We ain't talking about no Lil Wayne. Shut up. See, some people need a belt straight out the gate. Just whoop him till all the tattoos fall off. We get sick of some people. And our children, they be jamming on this stuff. I know this little girl, right? This is a true story. This little girl is what, 18, 19 years old? She ain't been to her grandparents' house or in their car or nothing, because leaving Bible study one night years ago, a car was next to us at the light, and the little car had this song, hey, chasing the paper. Yeah, and the woman said, sit down. You don't jam and dance to that kind of music here. The little girl got mad. She ain't been to her granddaddy, grandmama house since. I said, I'm all right with it. See, that takes some strength when some of them for the streets, you know. And all right, I'm gonna say this. See, we are so determined to cut up out of all the books of the Bible. We all living in that one book we really shouldn't be living in or reading out of, you know. See, in the book of Galatians, it plainly says, for the streets thou hast come, to the streets thou shalt go. Anyway, let me stop before people think that that's a real book. Anyway, my point here in humor was we need to stop living out of that book. We are Yahweh's people. We are a chosen people, a royal priesthood. I cannot say to you, act like it, because that would be doing you a disservice. Live like it. Don't get up and act like it. Live like it, because you are the sons and daughters of the prophets. And we just right now, to the left, to the left. That's your problem now. You've been left. We don't want to hear the word of Yahweh. If you like it, then you should have put a ring on it. No, 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 no. You cannot get that ring until you learn this thing. You must live out of this Torah. You have to really take your time to live. It ain't time to now keep arguing with the nations about the nationality of Israel, making sure they see us. We wear all our royal colors and everything. We can't even feed ourselves. Yisrael, you know you were an awesome nation anytime you left the midst of the wealthiest nation on the planet at that time. You walked out of them to go build your own. But you see, you didn't walk out of Egypt pimps and hoes, hoochie mamas, hookers and thugs. You left out of there the descendants of a royal priesthood. You came out of there a people that could defend themselves, a people that Yahweh gave the greatest piece of real estate on the face of this earth, and you were going to build. Bums and ruckus people and all that didn't leave out of there. They were righteous folk, a nation that will produce nothing but righteousness, provided they stayed under the tutelage of Yahweh's Torah. All this other stuff that has befallen us, man, it's time to come up out of it now. It's time to just live it. And when you come to Yahweh, here's the point that hurts most people. When you come out of the world, when you come up out of what Randy Crawford sang as the street life, when you come up out of that, that's when all the boredom starts. Because you're bored. You ain't got nothing to do. Because, see, tell the truth, you know that club life was the thing, boy. Yeah, you can find me in the club with a bottle above, all that. You love that theory. You love all that, right? Donna Summer, I'm in love, all of that. We love the thrill of that. But when you start serving Yahweh, now all of that woman chasing, all that womanizing, all of that stealing, that armed robbery, the thrill of shootouts and all of that stuff, now the boredom starts. And that's where the trials start. I heard a brother years ago blame Yahweh for his troubles, not realizing, bro, you on the right path. He complained. Ever since I came this red light, that's when all my troubles start. Yeah, brother, that's right. Because he's going to try you. Can you imagine a sword in the fire furnace fussing? I was buried in the earth. I was a good old piece of metal. Here I am burning in the fire. He's shielding you, burning all the impurities away, getting ready to beat you into a sharp, serious weapon. So yes, many are the trials of the righteous, but you have a guarantee. He said he bringeth them out of them all. Here's the only question left to ask yourself. When are you going to start believing him? If many are the trials of the righteous, when are you going to start believing him? Keep on wanting every day to be a beautiful day. Well, first of all, you got to get some beautiful days up under your belt. If brothers that go to prison could probably tell you this. They got what's called good time. Good time is when you get in there and you obey. No infractions, no trouble, no fights, no nothing. The good time knocks some of the time off your sentence. Am I correct? Anybody familiar with how it works? That's what good time is, right? So we always want to get to the good time. Well, Yahweh will knock down some of them trials and tribulations. Here's a quick question. Tell me this. Have any of you ever thought to pray that Yahweh lessen your trials? You ever thought to pray like that? Confession? Can I tell it? Okay. I read that verse in the Bible that says, many are the trials of the righteous, but Yahweh bringeth them out of them all. Okay, this is not foolish. This is human mind thinking. I prayed and I asked Yahweh, if it be your will, I know I'm weak. I can't handle it. I can't make it through a lot of trials. If it be your will, can you make my life a little easier? If it's your will, can you? Now, I don't know if he moved on that prayer or not, but I did pray that way. Let's be real. You ready? How many of you could really stand up to the point of death? Not taking the mark. Just be real with yourself. How many of you can stand? If they came in that door right now and demanded that we all take it or else we die. You can take it. Fair enough. Now, here's the question. If you don't have that kind of faith, then pray that you at least be given that type of strength to be able to stand. Because sometimes you don't know what you do under pressure. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes you don't know what you will do under pressure. So pray to be strengthened, comforted, and encouraged in all things. A lot of times people, I know I'm strong. I know, and get a splinter and they done. Oh, it's over. Be rolling all on the ground like the cowardly lion. Oh, this can't. Oh, it's a splinter, man. You go get some peroxide, pour it right on there, it'll bubble up and go in that little cut and it'll push the splinter out. And next thing you know, you back up. I knew I could make it. We will really need the strength of Yahshua. These type of messages serve as a strengthener for Yisrael, because there will be those days where you go to look for this sister, or that brother, or this mother, that father on the channel who no longer can respond because Yahweh has called them off the scene. But do you get the chance and the opportunity to prepare the generation before you that's coming behind you? Pardon me. Teach them, show them, do all that you can so that they're able to stand, right? See, what I've learned is that people that can't see things on a spiritual level really have no business offering up their opinions to the spiritual minded. See, I had a brother on social media, he do that all the time. All I got to do is post something spiritual. He always comment. And I want to tan to him, right? But he just ain't there. So I have mercy. I know a man did that to Elder Johnson. He was, Elder Johnson would speak. Every time he would say something, the man would contradict everything Elder Johnson said. And we wanted to kind of like see Elder Johnson take the word and do a Mike Tyson on him. Just go on, whoop him, bite his ear, do whatever it takes. Just tear the fur off of him. But Elder said something. He said, nah. You all don't know what I discern. You don't know what Yahweh showed me. What Yahweh showed me about that man, if I would have uttered that, it would have killed him. It would have run him out of the assembly. And I didn't want to do that. That's wisdom. That's wisdom. Because see, me in the flesh and a lot of us in the flesh, you ready, you move right in for the kill, right? You throw that right, that hook, that jab, and a kick or two, and they done. And you, yeah, I'm the champ. Nah, that might have been an ally. But because your ego wanted to beat them, because their ego rose up, sometimes you got to hold it. You got to know. And that's what Yahshua did with Peter, lying to him. Master, be it far from you, when he had the heart of a coward at that time. But it was something in him that Yahshua liked. And he did give him good advice. He said, when you are converted, strengthen your brother. Did he do it? You and I are strengthened by many of the things that Peter said. We're strengthened because of him. Why? Because he had mercy on him. Come on, Yisrael. In fact, let's do this. Let's go find what Yahshua said to us. Do I need to finish this here? Let's finish this prayer. Psalm 17. Verse 9. Keep me from the wicked that oppress me, from the deadly enemies who compass me about. They are enclosed in their own fat. With their mouth they speak proudly. They have now compassed us in our steps. They have set their eyes, bowing down to the earth. Like as a lion that is greedy of his prey, and as it were a young lion lurking in secret places. Arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. You hear that? Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. From men which are thy hand, O Yahweh, from men of the world, which have their portion in this life, whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasure. They are full of children, and leave the rest of their substance to their babes. Ain't that what white folks do to this day? Generational wealth, all this stuff they leave there, so we can't leave nothing. Man, I was reading a book the other day on wealth and finance, and it was talking about stuff. See, check this out. This is what they do. You and I, what do you, most of y'all, real quick, what are you living off of? Your wealth or your income? Oh, good. Y'all said that, huh? You live off your income. That's because that's what they taught us in their public school. Live off of whatever it is you get. But to build wealth, sometimes you got to have the one thing Scripture talks about, keep teaching you to do. You got to be able to save something, put something aside. Now, this is why athletes go broke. They get multi-million-dollar contracts. This is why athletes go broke, because the training and the schooling teaches us all the same thing. Live off your income. Okay, but if you have an excessive income, you pulling in $20 million a year, why you got to spend $20 million when you could put up 12 million and live off the 8? Next year, you're making another 20 million. Put another 12 aside and live off the 8 plus the 8 you just put together. Next year, you still ain't got hurt. You doing the pros, what have you, do all that. Come on. So now you can travel and do certain things, but you got 3 years worth of $12 million a year you put up, right? 12, 24, 36. Do you need to live off your income, or could you live off your wealth? See, if don't nobody teach us that, then we don't understand the principles, and it gets more and more tricky, because after a while, you got to violate Yahweh's rules in such a way in order to get rich in today's world. How did Abraham get rich and didn't steal, didn't rob? How did Isaac do it? How did Solomon? How did all the others do it? Yahweh bless them. Now, I'm not teaching you to go out here and go scrounging around trying to get riches. That's not what I'm saying. But know who you are. You are the sons and daughters of kings and queens. You are a royal priesthood. So wealth is in your nature. But because we've been denatured and taught how to just live off our income, then that means everything that's coming in. When things were coming into the assembly of Yahweh, something so beautiful happened in the scripture that people miss this. Them little faggot preachers that come on the radio behind me, they don't know this part. Come up every week, got to show off $100,000 Porsche or $100,000 Mercedes every week. Come in disrespecting me on the speakerphone and loud while I'm on the air. This ain't a big professional studio. It's one studio. So you're in that hall, in that booth, everything you say and do can be heard. You disrespectful. Point here. Check this out. In the scriptures, the priesthood, one of the men of Yahweh got angry because when certain things came in, it was not properly distributed because the singers in Yahweh's choir hadn't been given their portion. You get where I'm going now? There were portions and certain things that had to be given to the priest. Yahweh's house. See, people teach him that they say, he don't need no money. Don't be tired. No money. They teach, no. That's not what that was about. Yahweh let our father's declaration. He said, Yahweh, all that you give unto me, I will give you a tenth. He let that very declaration stand as the means by which you run his house. That 10% that he agreed to give Yahweh now went in. The priesthood wasn't supposed to have a job because all that came in, portion went to them to keep them without a job, but able to sustain a family because they need to be available to you 24/7. Sometimes some of y'all call me and I can't take the call. Why? Because I got to work. It's all right. It's honorable because if you don't work, you won't eat. Okay, but this was not about great wealth and buying expensive homes and cars and all this, while the people that were tithing could barely make it. If down to the poor little singers hadn't even been given an offering, and the man of the priesthood got angry about it, what you think Yahweh feels today when certain things should be done, when ain't nobody looking after the poor widow, when ain't nobody saying nothing about the orphan? It's in the law. That's how Yahweh's house was supposed to be run. That's why he blessed Solomon. He gave him the scriptures an enlarged heart. We're not talking about congestive heart failure. He talking about an enlarged heart where he loved the people so much, even as the king with the wealth that he produced. This was just in 1 year where he gave so many thousands for the feast and to slay that offering. Had a priesthood out there cooking it and preparing that meal, feeding Yahweh's people as they came. And as the people came, they brought an offering. He said, don't appear before me empty-handed. Come, they brought it. They didn't have it, keep it. It went right back out and it went into the city. So much so that even someone that was poor and homeless could still be fed. Because if you knew the law, you knew when you planted your vineyard, you couldn't go and take everything from the outer skirts. Leave something even for the poor who's passing by can get it right there and can eat. Yahshua said, the poor you have with you always. This society and the way their money management principles and techniques work, it teaches clear-cut robbery. Rob everyone and everybody. And when you can't get enough, create robots to do the work for free, long as they got electricity. Knock everybody out. And anybody that don't like it, go along with it or won't submit, kill them. This is the era of time we in now. This is the worst of the worst. And Yahweh's people and the salvation that has to come to us, many of us sitting in the assemblies worldwide, some of us are not worthy, but we think we are. What about that little man or that little woman on the street that worked and strived as best they could, but got so overwhelmed in bills, got so overwhelmed they could never catch up or keep up? You think they ain't praying? What about that person that the woman was arrested for this, that, and the other, whatever it was, and the judge set the bond and the bail for her and everything else? She was getting ready to be let free. What about that poor little woman that asked the judge, can you revoke my bond just so I can have some place to stay till the date that my food stamps kick in? That hurt even a white judge to have to help the woman by agreeing to revoke her bond just so she could stay in jail and have a place to stay and something to eat. You think salvation ain't coming to some of us like that? We're not being taught the truth. We get so high and so mighty with our little jobs and the different things we got going on now. No, that's not the way Yahweh would have us to live or to think that it is. Let's go back real quick. Ecclesiastes, real quick. I want to show you something. Chapter 7, Verse 13, listen to what he says to us. Consider the work of Yahweh, for who can make that straight which he hath made crooked? In the day of prosperity, be joyful. Y'all got it? You all right? You got some wealth? Got a little food? Your lights on at the house? Air in your tire? Car running? You prosperous. Look at what he says. In the day of prosperity, be joyful. But in the day of adversity, consider, in other words, think about this. Yahweh also have set the one over against the other. In other words, he's juxtaposed the both to the end that man should find nothing after him. Who you know that died and took all their wealth with him? Who you know did that? When you die, you can't find what's after. You don't know what's behind you. Yahshua has not fully explained to us what death is like. He just went through it and proved to us that he did it. That's right. He overcame. But check this out. You are overcomers. You already got the victory. You don't even know. Walk around with stank attitude. I don't like Sister Colette. Make me sick. And that's the attitude we have to take. To be honest, we really do have to take that kind of attitude. We say, well, right now, I ain't got time to care. You don't like me? I can love you in Yahweh, but yet leave you at bay. You understand? We got to learn how to leave one another at bay without leaving one another. You understand? We got to learn how to do it. It's so sad sometimes preaching and teaching the word of Yahweh where you got to really set us straight, put us in order, and teach us certain things. And a lot of times people don't like you. I was at a funeral recently, and a minister walked up and introduced himself to me. I kind of suspect who he was, but I didn't get a chance to talk to him because the women at the time were standing around me cackling, had me distracted. One was saying one thing, one was saying another thing, third one was saying something else. And I'm trying to hear, that's how we do as a people. We talking. I don't like the celebrity status thing. People, oh, Johnson, I want you to baptize me. I stopped baptizing years ago. You know why? Because people would come like, if Mr. Taylor did it or Mr. Johnson did it, that wasn't good enough. No. In Yahweh's name, one is just as good as the other. So you will not subject me to designer label leadership. I'm not Gucci, right? I'm not Yves Saint Laurent. I'm not Balenciaga. I'm a little man of Yahweh. But if the brothers that come up under me do that baptism and they done that in the name of Yahweh and in the name of Yahshua, it's the same baptism in righteousness. So I stopped that because people will idolize and worship their leadership. So no, we're not going to do that. So brother introduced himself, and I didn't get a chance to properly greet the man because the woman stepped in front of him. And to this day, I was like, I wonder who he was. Because whoever he was, he probably heard the bad reports about me that people say, but he thought enough of me as his brother in Yahshua to step up to me and greet me and introduce himself. And I felt real bad about that because I was thinking to the women at that time, wow, sister, I wish you would have been quiet for 30 seconds so I could meet my brother, see what it was he was saying to me. That's how we do sometimes. We as Yisrael, it's dangerous coming to Yahweh if the messengers don't take the time to sit us down and teach us things in Yahweh's word, little hidden things that make the walk of righteousness just that much easier. You hear me? It's the little things sometimes. What did it say earlier about it's better to have the rebuke of a righteous man than for somebody to just pass it over and look at, we get offended because somebody tell us, no, you got to do a little better than that. I get on the young men. You got to have motivation in different things. You got to be real with the way that you serve Yahweh. You got to really know who you are. You hear me? Got to know who you are. You got to know who you are and whose you are. That's why I try to teach it to the young men in such a way where that's what the old men did for us. Elder Jones and all the others, man, I saw online the other day on Sister Carolyn's page a picture of her father. Elder Jones, man, and I broke down crying because you had to be there to see the mighty works that he could do in Yahweh. He's a man that could stand up and preach to you and talk about Jonah and the way Jonah tried to run and not preach the word of Yahweh. And in the midst of it, his son, who was scrambling to learn to play the piano. Me and Titus learned our instruments the same way. We didn't go to no school. We didn't get no lessons. We learned in the sanctuary, just learning to play along by ear. And Elder Jones could break out singing about Jonah getting thrown over. I remember when he hit that line, throw me overboard. We would laugh at the way Elder Jones was singing. And Titus sit there and just put notes to what his father was preaching as he's singing, and did it so beautifully. We miss things like that. We lose sight of things like that because our elders today, like the word of Yahweh said, they have not been properly prepared. Let's be real. A lot of our elders are coming straight out of the prison house. And it is written in the word, there is he that cometh out of the prison to be ruler over many. That's specifically Yahshua. But we as men bear the flavor and the semblance of that to teach Yahweh's people. That's why when life gets to beating us down, you got to remember things that Yahshua said, like Luke 18:1. Men are to always pray and not to faint. Sometimes people get mad at you when you won't faint. I ain't got time to faint. Leave me alone. I'll get this done. I'll work it through with Yahweh. I may need you. I may need that earthly shoulder to cry on, but yet I ain't got that. But I know I can lean on Yahshua. We have to know things like that. In fact, let's do this real quick. Let's run back into Revelations chapter 2. I'm going to show you what Yahshua said real quick. See, we don't trust in him enough. We don't believe. We always reading the book, quoting the book, but yet can't live it. Yahshua was saying some deep stuff, man. Deep. You ever had somebody just, like the word said, I will open my mouth and utter dark parable, sayings of old? You ever had them kind of people in your life? Somebody that no matter what they say, it was always double meaning behind it. You ever had somebody like that? See, John was like that. You know, you say stuff, you throw a little parable out there at you, and you like, what that mean? You know, because it sounded like it was a double-edged sword, a double entendre or whatever. You'd be like, wait a minute now. You know, he say stuff to you. Yeah, well, okay, well, never look a gift horse in the mouth. Remember old folks say stuff like that? It's what in the world does don't look a gift horse in the mouth mean? Anybody ever figured that one out? All right, I'll tell y'all what that means, just in case you don't know. Okay, somebody give you a horse, right? You ain't got no transportation, but they give you a horse. Right in their face, right? You checking, looking all in it. Is his teeth good? Is there? You got a horse. Be thankful. It's more than what you had. Now you're gonna look at it and find fault. I know a sister years ago, her husband was gonna buy her a brand new car, right? He's gonna get the car. He was tired of the car. He told her, I hate that car. He said, quote, I hate that car for you. He's ready to get her a new car. He went to get her the car. She turned the car down. You know why? She wanted a sunroof. Now, what he was picking out for her was 4 or 5 times better than what she already had. He didn't want her breaking down on the road, on the side of the road, or anything like that. He didn't want that. He wanted where she could get in it and go. I don't want that. It ain't got sunroof. So he didn't get nothing. There you go. You look a gift horse in the mouth. So all folks can say stuff to us that we don't pay any attention to. I like the way Yahshua taught us, because the way he was telling us things, it was to encourage us. Look, if me and you riding along in the car, right? And it's thunderstorm and it's raining, it's dark outside, but it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon and it look like 5:30. And I say, just drive. Just get to the house. Take your time. Drive safe. You ain't got to worry about nothing. Just get there. Yeah, but I lost my keys. I understand now. Okay, well, I'm a little stronger than you now. To get you home, you got to drive my car. Drive. To get you there, I'm riding with you. I either got a lockpick set or I got the spare key that you gave me. I'm going to get you home and get you in the house. Why are you upset during the ride? Trying to figure out how you're going to get in. Right now, you're out the rain. You're still riding. I'm talking to you with confidence, but you just can't believe whatever it is that's coming. We get there. I don't even know why we came here. You home now. Be quiet. That's what Yahshua was saying to Yisrael. I want you to listen to the pattern of something he said. Revelations chapter 2. Let me see if I can pick this up. Verse 7. Watch this. Revelation 2, verse 7. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the assemblies. To him that overcometh will I give to eat of the tree of life. Listen to that. What I tell you earlier. We got pushed out, right? We're overcomers. Right now, we got to wait. We can't undo what Adam did. He messed it all up. Let's be real. Say it. Say, our Father, Adam, messed things up. You think he wasn't sad too? You think he got kicked out the garden? He creeping around like Mowgli. Remember? Watch this. It came to mind. I'm going to bring this one up. Remember Mowgli in Jungle Book? The boy, he's running around with the bear. The bear was teaching him, right? We're gonna eat. We're gonna make it. We're gonna eat it, even if we got to live off the bare necessities. Now, it was a double entendre. He was a bear, so he's gonna eat all the stuff that bears eat. He was a man, a young man. He was poor. He had nothing. You too are gonna live off the bare necessities, the minimum. But you're gonna make it. Now I know y'all can remember that now, right? Y'all seen that? Y'all ever seen the cartoon Jungle Book? They call themselves teaching the children something, but it was funny. If you're a stupid adult like me, you learn from it. You're like, damn, then they slid that in. That was interesting. So the bear was running around, the bare necessity, the bear, and he was just skipping along, and the little boy Mowgli was skipping and dancing behind him, but all along he was eating them grapes or whatever it was, and he was living off the bare necessities. Okay, here Yahshua tell you, if you have ears, shut up and listen. Listen to what the Spirit says unto the assemblies. To the one that overcometh will I give to eat of the tree of life. Remember, man was forbidden to eat from the tree of life. Couldn't do it from the beginning. Nah, this is a simple test. You do this, you do that. Oh, well, look, get him out the garden unless he put forth his hand to what? The tree of life. So now you couldn't touch it because you wasn't right. Now he's saying, after I reset it, I'll give to him to eat of the tree of life. Where did he say it is? Which is in the midst of the paradise. Come on, y'all. Is he lying to you? Come on. He said it, right? Okay, the 11th verse. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the assembly. He that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death. This is what you're living for. This is why I say, Yisrael, we're in that age now where some of us are going to be called off the scene. And I ain't talking about no small numbers either. At that point in time, some of us will be called off the scene. You may be young. You may be in your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, whatever. Everybody might not live to be 85, 90 years of age. But dying in the Messiah is not a bad thing. Dying in Yahshua, nonetheless. That mark of the beast is not going to be a system to play with, especially when you start seeing the calamities and the things happen, because it's going to appear as if heaven and earth have moved closer to one another. Because as Yahweh starts to do things, trust me, it's going to be closer and closer, stuff that's messing them up. What are the Vatican's reporters saying? They're saying that what they're watching is something moving in and out of our dimension. Something moving in and out that they now can see and can't stop it, can't do nothing about it. But all their little movies in Hollywood, remember in Avengers where they tried to close that portal because stuff was coming through the portal? See, y'all think the white man be playing with you. Whereas he put it on film, but he's showing you things that's coming through. Now, why was everything coming through that portal out of the sky in the movie? Why was it all coming to fight the white man on the earth if he's so good? Wait a minute. He's so good now. He done gave us Civil Rights Act, still hate us. He done gave us affirmative action, still hate you. He done gave you good government jobs, still hate you. He done gave you SNAP benefits, yet he still hates you. But now all of a sudden, something coming out the sky to kick his ass. And you on his side. Because of SNAP benefits? Because of Social Security? Because of something coming out the sky to get him? Nah, buddy. You've been treating us bad for several thousand years. You going to fight that battle. I'll take my chances. Here, scripture say y'all sure coming. I'll wait. Wait a minute. That's another one of his soldiers. He ain't come yet, but the scripture say he coming on a white horse. Okay, I'll wait. You get what I'm saying? So now the Vatican telling you something's moving in and out of this earthly realm. And they can't do nothing to stop. Y'all think they playing? They scared to damn death. Hey, Yahshua said, he that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says. He that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death. You think George Washington and all of them died and they waiting to get up in the resurrection and be happy and live happily ever after? Sitting around in the kingdom to come under Yahshua, telling horror stories. Yeah, back in the day, Yahshua, we used to hang them niggers. So glad you saved us. Okay, we'll love them now. And the kid, nah, y'all died. And you didn't receive judgment. So don't act like now you as the children of them people feeling the same way, still going to get a blessing too. No. If you make it through, he had mercy on you. And he had mercy because you are going into captivity in order to learn. So no, Yisrael, when life really starts getting us down, you got to make this thing real. You got to come to understand it and see it. Hollywood is jumping off the silver screen now. The scriptures is jumping out the pages of the book now, and it's happening in the world in front of everybody's eyes. Ain't nobody going to be able to deny this one. It's coming down now, and we sitting around mad with each other. We are all we got. Years ago, we sit on a job site. We ain't had no whole lot of money. Back in the 90s, jobs was tough. I tell you how we would find a job. You go looking for jobs, construction company, they wasn't hiring. We used to go to the brickyard, where they was loading up the trucks with bricks and block and different things. And when a truck or two come out with loads of brick and block, we knew that was a job site. We all just sitting there crowded up in the brother's truck. He said, all right, ready? Let's go. We followed the truck. When the truck go to a job site, we pull up behind the truck. We looking for jobs. They like, well, come on. Yeah, we need bricklayers. And that's how we would get jobs in the 90s, following the brick truck down the road. That's how we were getting it. Well, now you all going to have to follow Yahweh's people down the road. To the road to salvation, the world going to have to follow those of Yahweh's people that do know. Is that not what he said? They that understand among the righteous shall instruct many. Yet even they shall fall. And when they fall, they shall be helped with little help. Some of them people that accept that mark and look up and realize they shouldn't have took it or whatever. But wait a minute, these are Yahweh's people. Maybe you'll have mercy on me. You know what? I'll hide them. Don't think he ain't going to make them function in ways you all have yet to see. See, we sleep on too much stuff. When we didn't have jobs, or we did have jobs and the money was tight, you know what we would do? Out of respect to those of us that did not eat pork. They put their money together, brother go down the road, he finds some cheese, he finds some mustard, he finds some bread, and try to find some beef bologna. And we sit on that job site 5 or 6 deep, make sandwiches, and feed each other, and work all day, because we were all we had. That's what we do. Brother told me the other day, he said, bro, I don't want this to sound gay. So I was like, oh, then don't say it then. You know, joking with him. He said, no, I know it ain't gay, and I know you ain't taking it that way. He said, but bro, man, I love you to death. He said, man, I learned so much out there under you. And just think, I was your boss, but I learned so much from you, man. I learned how to love. I learned how to focus. I learned how to function. He said, you and your family better not ever have a hungry day. Because if I got anything, you get my last slice of bread before I eat it. And that thing made me cry. Because that's how we should be for one another. Because you look up and see Yahweh has done things for you right here in this little building. How many times do you hold to cook food and prepare meals? And then when we had guests where the house was so jam-packed, people leaving out with 2 and 3 to-go plates, as if Yahweh didn't do it. You saw it with your own eye. Don't tell me he didn't multiply their food. You all know you keep digging in the pot, and yet the pot don't go down. See, people wouldn't believe it when we tell it, but yet we know what we saw. We know what we went through. People got so crazy with it, got so out of hand, we suspended eating together for a little bit, just so we could humble ourselves, get it together, because people start acting like they was entitled to it. Y'all would Baruch us with things like that, but we never have an entitlement on anything. That's why we were taught to pray, give us this day our daily bread. We're so blessed in this society. You got this day, tomorrow, and the day after. You got food and stuff stashed in there. Little different desserts. Thing. My wife said, I'm going to put some of that up, put that. I said, no. Do me a favor. Take it with us. Take that to the assembly. We eat that today. He bless you with so much sometimes. You'll have to move out the old out of your storehouse in order to make room for the new. That's the mighty one we serve. So even when life beating you down, hold your head up in Yahshua. Don't sit around there and act like it's all over. David thought the same thing. He thought he was going to die at the hands of Saul. He felt bad for a moment, but he got himself together, boy. His little mischievous ass. Did he or did he not? Come on, he got up, cut the king's robe. You just missed him. You're a grown man. You get down there in the dark, cutting the man's skirt. You stop. Cutting the man's skirt. Then you going ease on back up. All them soldiers out there guarding him. You sit there and you know you're a person that snores. You can't go sleep. You get back there and sit back and breathe. Sunlight come, he get up. He going out. Get his troops and everything. Going down the hill. Go over this way. Go. You come out. Hey! Could have got you. I know the word said, touch not my anointing. And King Shaul, crazy as a bed bug. Crazy as a burl of fishing hook. Zap off. Go. He know how to play that song, Calm Me Down. Get in here and play that record for me. Sing for me, Dawid. Remember that? Here go another one. Aretha Franklin. Remember that record? Don't play that song for me. Older people, talk to me. You remember that? What did Aretha say? Don't play that song no more. It brings back memories. See, I keep trying to get y'all to pay attention. Your parents were crying out as best they could. Shaul, one David, play that song for me. That the only thing calm me down. Now today they will put King Saul on Zoloft or something. He been on all kind of Medicaid. He got the man of Yahweh know how to move his fingers right. Get you calmed down. Then the devil say, you feeling better now? Yeah, good. Throw that spear at him. Next thing, shoot. David done run out. He got his little flute or his little violin or whatever he got. He got to hightail it now because his father-in-law crazy. Tell me that ain't some of us today. Crazy as we want to be. You need some spiritual Zolar. Open your mouth and put this in. Yahshua told us to keep on. Verse 17. What'd he say? He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit said to the assemblies. To him that overcometh will I give to eat of the hidden manna. You all joining us, you online, you tuned in, you in under the assemblies of Yahweh. It's all right, you listening. Listen to what he said. I will give him to eat of the hidden manna. Wasn't that manna Yisrael ate? Wasn't it hidden? They went out and found it every time Yahweh said it for them to be found. And on the sixth day, they found 2 days' worth. Don't tell me what Yahweh can't do for us as his people. And I will give him a white stone. You go in my office and you look on my desk, what's there? That white stone. I wrote that on that stone. This right here. He says that I will give a new name written, which no man knoweth except he that receiveth it. Come on, y'all. Y'all are going to change your name. Even in the kingdom, you're going to live up to your name. See, we don't understand this. The power of your name, a blessed name. Whereas every time somebody calls it, 2 people get blessed at the same time. The one calling your name and the one answering to it. That's serious. You bless a whole kingdom like that. You saying things to one another. Remember the man, Deborah and Barak? She told Barak, yeah, well, I'll go with you, but if I go, I'm going to take the credit. She took the credit too. But yet he was blessed. Come on, man. We got to know what the names mean, man. Sometimes people don't know. We don't always know, man. Let's write these down. I'm going to wrap this up for you. See, what we need are prayers of confessions and pleas of forgiveness. And a lot of times people don't know that. Psalm 32, I'm going to read this one because Psalm 32 got a beautiful message that all people need to see and understand. When life get to beating you down, stop going along with the oppression and the depression of it. You can't fall into that. Sometimes you have to really pull yourself together and you got to come up out of the sadness or the sorrow of whatever it is. Sometimes you just got to pull yourself up out of it, okay? There's no getting around it. You got to pull yourself up out of it. Okay, Psalm 32 Verse 5, he says, I acknowledge my sin unto thee, and mine iniquity have I not hid. I said, I will confess my transgressions unto Yahweh, and thou forgavest the iniquity of my sin. See how Yahweh did? He forgave him. Said, I'll confess it. And Yahweh said, okay, I'll forgive it. For this shall everyone that is righteous pray unto thee in a time when thou mayest be found. For surely in the floods of great waters they shall not come nigh unto thee. You hear that? When all the trials and troubles and tribulations hit, what did he say? It's not going to come near you. You are my hiding place. You shall preserve me from trouble. You shall compass me about with songs of deliverance. Isn't that what some of them songs we sing are about? Remember that song Ahoti sing? Put on your beautiful garment. Y'all don't want me singing it, but you know the song. That thing fire you up. Tell you, hit it real quick. Somebody sing it. What it say? What it say? A little louder.
Put on your beautiful garment, take the bands off your neck, away, away, Zion.
Come on, man. You serve a mighty Elohim like that, and he ain't gonna respond. Come on, man. That's the call. I'm gonna tell you what he do. One better than that. Listen. He says, you are my hiding place. You shall preserve me from trouble. You shall compass me about with songs of deliverance. Verse 8, Yahweh responds. This is a conversation. In verse 8, he says, I will instruct thee and teach thee in the way which thou shalt go. I will guide thee with mine eye. That's the only way to see things. Isn't that beautiful? Yahweh said, I will instruct you and guide you with mine eye. You sitting around bluffing, trying to see it. You can't even see in this lifetime with two good eyes. And you're going to try to oversee spiritually. We need to stop that. Why do you think we wear glasses today? All of us. Y'all hear me admit this all the time. When I put these on up here teaching, what I always say, yeah, these things do work. Don't I say that? These things really do work. You put them on, they magnify stuff. You get to see what you see, right? Now, son, we're going to be running around here. We're going to stay up drinking all night, hanging out. You couldn't see when the sun was shining. Now, son, you're going to see so deep into the word. Brothers always get philosophical after they've been drinking or smoking. You ever notice that? No, we need the spirit of Yahweh. So here Yahweh talk back to the messenger. He say, I will guide you with mine eye, but be ye not as the horse or as the mule, which have no understanding, whose mouth must be held in with bit and bridle, lest they come nigh unto thee. In other words, you be careful, lest that spirit of a horse get on you. You ever see the horses when they race? What do they do with the horses? Put blinders on so he can only see what's in front of him, right? Stay in your lane and go, buddy boy. Horse with them big old eyes. He running down where he see everything. He looking at all horses near him. He see the rabbits running. He see everything. How he gonna win the race? So Yahweh tell you, don't you be like the horse that don't have no understanding, lest their spirit come upon you. And if you notice us as a nation, that's the spirit that's on us now. We ain't got the spiritual blinders of Yahshua upon us. That's why we see so much all the time. Don't see nothing. Many sorrows shall be to the wicked, but he that trusts in Yahweh, mercy shall compass him about. Be glad in Yahweh and rejoice, you righteous. Are you all righteous? Stop being so damn bitter all the time. Calm down. What he say? Rejoice, ye righteous, and shout for joy, all ye that are upright in heart. You got to get up on and know this. Say, hey, Yah, I'm a sinner. I've sinned before you, but I strive according to your law. Have mercy upon me. Here you have the right to rejoice in Yahweh. We come to his house all sad, depressed. You ever had somebody so depressed, that next thing you know, you depressed, you don't even know why? Because that's their type of spirit. See, some of this stuff has to be revealed so that we can understand. Yahweh did something so beautiful. Let me get, y'all all right? Bear with me. I got to explain it as the Spirit give me the ability to understand it. You know the Almighty is awesome. Anytime your forefathers had wisdom and knowledge from the very beginning of time, and they started messing up, they started doing things. These evil spirits knew stuff that they didn't even know. And the evil spirits taught them and told them things, how to concoct stuff, put stuff together, how to do things, so that the knowledge that they had as righteous knowledge took on this knowledge of the world that is beyond this realm. The devil taught them other stuff, and they start putting it all together. You know your creator is awesome anytime you can take atoms and molecules, stuff that can't be seen right now with the natural eye. You can trap it and scientifically do stuff where you're splitting it and splitting atoms. And when you split them, they separate and keep splitting as long as the nucleus is nearby. And not only do they separate, but they generate heat. And the heat, when it's compacted, gets more and more hotter so that it has to broaden itself out. It has to explode. These are spiritual conditions. These are things that you don't just read in a science book Monday night and you mastered it on Tuesday. It takes years of this. So Yahweh take all that knowledge that they got, which are the things he created from the beginning of the universe anyway, and he say, look, I'm going to fix you straight out the gate. When this is all over with, all of this that you have used and learned and put together to destroy my people, I'm going to take all of this, since these are things that I created, and I'm going to let this destroy you forever, yet I'm going to keep you alive and make you perpetually suffer forever and ever. Only Almighty Yahweh can do that. And we sat in school in the chemical class with the Bunsen burners and all other stuff and didn't pay attention. I know I ain't paying no attention. Look, I got sent to the office a couple of times. They had a little gas Bunsen burners. You had a little thing, the striker where you suit it up. You're supposed to turn it down low. And I was that one dangerous student. I'm not even gonna lie. Don't y'all try this if you're in school. I was that student. I turned it up real high. I was stupid. Then you hit it with that spark. Foof! Go up there to the ceiling. And our science teacher, Jewish dude, Mr. Cohen, David, get out. Get the hell out. Get out. Go to the principal's office now. I'm going to burn the damn school down. But anyway. Fire. What makes fire? What makes the elements that keeps fire going and hot? What makes heat? What makes nuclear energy and all this stuff? You might not understand it or study it, but as Yahweh gives somebody understanding of it, you say, damn, Yahweh did say he will destroy those that destroy the earth. Who better to get the last laugh than the Almighty? This is what you dug in the earth and took up. I was doing research and studies on this stuff. All of the most dangerous chemicals and the elements of the earth that they need to destroy people in the world and on the planet, all that stuff, I was like, damn. The most dangerous stuff in the world, they finding it and digging it up out of the earth in Europe. Of all places. We like, we know y'all the children of the devil. Now, ain't nothing you can say to us. You come all in Africa, take the gold, take the silver, take all of that. You get wealthy, you get rich. You all around the world. But all this other stuff that you need to make nuclear weapons and other stuff, you pulling it up out of the land in Germany, all up in Switzerland, in Poland. So y'all sitting on top of all of the stuff that's destructive. We had all of the stuff that's life-giving and life-sustaining. You done took over everything on earth. And you're going to still play like you, the righteous people. And we sitting around dumb. Oh, teach us, great Mr. White Man. No. Get the hell on. Yahweh said, come out from among them and be ye also separate. So I like separation. I'm all for it. You don't want me near you? I don't want to be near you either. Don't want me talking to you? Don't you talk to me either. In fact, I'm Fantasia, damn it. You don't want me, then don't talk to me. Go ahead and be your damn self. Anyway, had to get that last R&B in there so y'all can. Anyway, Yisrael, Revelations 2, 17, 24, 29, Yahshua kept on saying, if you have ears to hear what I'm saying to you. Right now, life beating you down, that's all right. He talking about giving you the gift to the tree of everlasting life. And we sitting around here depressed because we can't pay some damn phone bill. So, can't pay no phone bill, get a drum. So now, look, man, I got this conga set the other day, man. I got one. You take the other with you, but you be cool now. Just be listening out. I ain't gonna never tap until after midnight. And then next thing you know, one night you hear somebody. Sound go a long way in the dark. You say, hey, that's Brother Vass. Wait a minute, I recognize that tune. Let me come back. Next thing you know, 2 blocks away, somebody down the street, they dancing in the street. They don't even know y'all talking to each other. They just hear the drum. I'm making a point. Stop crying over these folks and paying their bills and all this other stuff, and they ain't satisfied with nothing they got. You have Yahweh, you have Yahshua. Yahshua stood there with your father in the garden. And I like the way Yahweh did it. It was personal. Yahweh was so disappointed in man, he was like, you know what? I'll put you back in the garden, but it ain't till all this is what you did set off a chain reaction to all of this stuff in the universe. Nobody would have never found uranium, plutonium, and all that other stuff. They'd have never found it had Adam not went wrong. And because he did go wrong, the haters of Yahweh, white folks are admitting it themselves. And that little white lady on Instagram, other little lady on YouTube, other places, talking. She says, white people, we're not native to any part of the land of this earth, nowhere. And we've taken over everything. We destroy. I noticed it's all the white women saying it. No, see, we had one Francis Cresswell's. The white community, they got 4 or 5 of them. But the white boys, they ain't saying it. They got that old tough spirit. You need leadership like King David. Remember, David had to go down there and fight the Edomites. What did he do? He put troops down in there. After it was all over there to slay all the males, but he left the troops down there, showed them how to live right. No, you do this way. And after David died and whatever, and Solomon and others took over, then Edom revolted. Then Libnah revolted and all them out. And they hated Yahweh's people. They kept that wrath. That's what scripture say Esau did. He kept his wrath forever. He hates you. And the Hebrew community must understand. Stop just saying Esau is all the white race. He's not all. Esau is not the Spaniard. Esau is not the Frenchman. Esau is not the German. You must come to understand. Esau is the seed of Edom. He is that Ashkenazi who claims to be you. You got to know the ones, the Sepharad, saying there's the Sephardi. You must understand those dirty Jews are the descendants. And to prove this, this is what Yisrael must understand. Why do the Jews claim to be Yahweh's chosen people so much so? Because Esau came up in his father's house. His father, as the keeper of Torah, is where he learned the value of Torah. That's why they cling to it. But it ain't all white people clinging to the Torah. All white people ain't claiming to be the chosen people. They're saying they're superior. You must know the difference. And the Hebrews ain't caught on to that yet. That's why the Jewish community try to keep the law, because they know their father understood the law. What did he say? The days of mourning for my father at hand. I'll wait. When daddy die, I'm going to kill him. That's what the scripture means when it says he kept his wrath forever. He had a perpetual hatred. He did cast off all pity. He did pursue with the sword. This is the Jewish community to this day. They get mad when you say it. But all the rest of the people, you go back to Genesis 10 and look at the table of nations carefully. Because when Noah's descendants migrated and started taking that world, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, they were all black. Don't come with that. One was black, one was Chinese, one was this, that, and that. Get out of here with that nonsense. Because if you know how to read the book, you start seeing as the table of nations break off and the land masses were named after those different people in Genesis 10. You can track them. You can trace them. You'll know who they are to this day. But to keep saying all white people are Esau, you do yourself a disservice. Because if all white people are Esau, Yisrael, according to Deuteronomy 23, we got to shut up. We got to stop arguing with them. We got to stop fussing with them. We got to stop hating them. That's what the law, let me get it real quick. Let me get it so Yisrael will understand the word. See, we don't understand it. See, let me tell you about family. You can have family sometime and can't stand their ways. So you cut loose from them. That don't mean you hate them. You just said, I ain't going to mess with him, right? You got them family members that keep right on. Deuteronomy 23:7. Listen to this. Thou should not abhor an Edomite, for he is thy brother. Thou should not abhor an Egyptian, because thou wast a stranger in his land. The children that are begotten of them shall enter the congregation of Yahweh in their third generation. You get it? Esau did come up knowing the Torah. He knew the law. That's why he wanted the blessing to the birthright. The birthright would have given him access to the priesthood and everything. See, this is why they had to take it. They wanted to take the office of Kohen. Kohen. That's why you see Jewish people today say they're Cohen. Their last name Cohen. No, say it like it's supposed to be. Kohen. It means priestly. They claim that they're of the tribe of Levi. You got to know the words. You got to know it and understand it enough. So now, if all white people are Esau, man, we can't get mad at the Frenchman. Oh, pissy Frenchman. Oh, shut up. The British. I say, oh, chap, is it time for some tea? No, we don't want no damn tea. All of them different names. The Germans. All that. No, get the hell out of here with that mumbling Fred Flintstone garbage. And because Yahweh's people don't know who they are, more often than not, we don't know who the enemy is. Now, look, me, I put them all in the same boat. Now, I ask them periodically, what's your nationality? Let them tell it. But the Jewish community, they ain't going to tell it. They're not going to say we're the seed of Esau. Because they understand what scriptures say. You got to know this. And stop arguing with them. So even though we can't hate them according to the law, that don't mean you got to stand all up on and be lovey-dovey. You get what I'm saying? Some people, you don't have to hate them, but you just straight out the gate know, I ain't even going to mess with you. I don't even bother you like that. Right or wrong? You don't even bother them. It's not gone. Yahweh got them in judgment day. Nobody's getting away with anything. And we're not teaching hate, but we do teach Yahweh's people how to stand up for themselves. You got to know your way around the word. And you cannot let somebody spiritually molest you because they will talk you out of your own salvation, have you submitting to them. I never forget Elder Jacob O'Meara, the way he took it and twisted it around. And when he told the story in one of them articles, he had you thinking that they were running the global mark of the beast system and was the chosen children of Israel. I said, now how in the hell can that be? And people read it and let it go. I still got that edition of the Sacred Name Broadcaster. That's what he said. He admitted that the European Union was building a global system for the mark of the beast. And he said America and Great Britain and the rest of the European nations are the 12 tribes of Israel. I want to see how you're going to prove that to me through history. When did white folk go into captivity? When did they get scattered around the world? When did they come here by ships? At the bottom of the ships, at that. Where are the slave ships? Where are the records? Because the African people would have the records that show how many white folk we took from Europe and scattered around the world. Y'all got them records up in London and other places. Y'all got our artifacts. You all made us build them ports of no return and all this other stuff. And we happy to go back there and look at that. No. Yahweh's people got to wake up now. Life is beating us down so bad, we walk around like we ain't got no hope. You have hope in Yahshua. We disappointed Abba Yahweh so bad he wouldn't even talk to Adam no more. Yahshua was standing there all along. This is beautiful, Yisrael. We don't know. He said, Yahweh possessed me from the beginning of his way. Wherever the earth was, wherever it was, whatever it was, Dr. Barashango, Shaka Musa Barashango was right. He said, time never was when the black man did not exist. Ha! Hell with you, Whitey. You wasn't around. Time never existed where we didn't exist. We were always there. He, we, us, them, I, and our Father. We with him are one. Ain't that what Yahshua said? I in them, and they in me, and I in you. No, we ain't backing up off of this. You all hate us with every substance of your being and get angry when we correct and chastise you. Damn you. You don't like the truth and you can't submit. That's okay. They ain't stopped making change. Because the book say you coming over. And you coming over in chains. Great men. Black men don't understand. You're going to have some of their presidents, some of their prime ministers, some of their kings, and some of their queens. You're going to have chains around their damn neck and bring them in and make them submit before Yahshua. You keep thinking it's a game. I don't need to preach no more. Finished for the day. Serve Yahweh. Serve him with gladness. Life get to beating you down. You go in them Psalms and you find them prayers you need to find. You get to the house of Yahweh. Get there. Organize yourselves, Yisrael. Organize like a nation should be organized. Love yourselves the way you should. Say what you want about white folk. They show a degree of love, if nothing else. We were looking at them this morning. What they had, the little walkathons out there with the little three-wheel strollers and their little spandex. They got the babies. They going to do the running in the park and all that. I said, you got to give white folk credit. They do get together and do stuff like that. We're going to lose weight for Ozempic and all the stuff. They do fun. They do all kind of stuff. We don't do nothing fun in the hood. I'm being honest. We don't do nothing fun in the hood. Remember we used to? Remember we were children here in Baltimore when they had Operation Champ. They had all this other stuff come out, all the brothers. It'd be people from the neighborhood. You didn't even know they was that talented. Remember the brothers in our neighborhood? They was alcoholics and drunks. They get on the bottle. They get on the bottle of Thunderbird, Richards, Wild Irish Road. They be in the back. Woo, woo, woo. They set up Operation Champ, open the side of the truck, stage, get up there singing. Said, man, they sound better than they did in that alley last night. We ain't know they were going to do that. They be singing, had the children neighborhood, had the trampolines out, jumping the little rides, and everybody loved everybody. The people looked up, we can't have these niggers loving each other. Get them some dope. So they don't know nothing about that. They don't know. Teach them how to sniff it. Well, get them some wine. Get them some guns. Let them fight, kill each other. And all this stuff start happening. Next thing you know, we out there going crazy. Cigarettes and sandwiches. Shootings and killings. Stabbings and robbings. White folk, it was funny when it was Mondam and Mall. Oh, the niggers killing each other at the mall. Now it's Towson. And you see them on the news and they go to interview them. Oh my. This just shouldn't be happening here. What do you mean it shouldn't be happening here? Columbus started this. The hell are you talking? This shouldn't happen here. Yes, it should. Tell me some violence. What Charlie Kirk? I'd be willing to pay the price for more shooting. Man, next thing you know, man, bing, shot him in the neck. Well, you talking out the side of your neck, so the man figure, let me give you a mouth. And then they get mad. Don't want us to say nothing. Don't you dare talk about Charlie. F Charlie. I ain't say it. I pronounced one little letter of the alphabet. Watch, I get 4 letters now about that. Dear Elder David. F you. Anyway, Yisrael, hold on to Yahweh's unchanging hand. Don't let nobody shake your faith and your confidence in him. All you young people, you little people out there, serve Yahweh. Now is not the time to let go. Now is not the time to back up. If you look up and see us falling off the scene and off the wayside, like Anthony Hamilton said, leave us be. Let us sleep. Leave us be till the Savior comes, because we know he's going to come for us. He's not going to forget. From the youngest to the oldest, Yahweh knows every one of us that are his. Guess who tired? I feel like the dude from the Green Mile. I go in my desk and say, Yahweh, I'm tired, boss. I'm tired. But nevertheless, we look for a new heaven and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness, because the one we got right now ain't nothing dwelling. People all scared, shaking in their boots, because their name in Jeffrey Epstein file should have stayed off the island. Man, you were safer with Gilligan. No, you go over there with Jeffrey. Well, no, go on. Bring all of the files out. Bring out the Gilligan files, right? You know what the skipper was doing. He did call him his little buddy. See, y'all. Oh, y'all got that in the back. That was smooth, wasn't it? I got to admit, that was smooth. You know that stuff was happening. Jim Neighbors and all of them little dudes. They was, how Fred say, stuff been going on all along. Y'all wasn't catching it. Teletubbies and all that. We want to have our children. They couldn't even sit down and watch TV. The Teletubbies. You know, the little gay tubbies and all. Come on, y'all. You push the agenda everywhere. Everything was anti-Yahweh. See, when I stand and preach, so much of it come to mind, I bring it all out. That's why people, they got to go back and play the message 7, 8 times. Because, damn, he slid that in. Yeah, he did. You missed it, but yeah, I slid it in, slid across home plate like I was coming in this grand slam. I'm the last one in. But we're telling you all, man, them people terrible. They shouldn't be trusted with the Bible. They made it so we couldn't read the Bible and it was illegal. We got to make it illegal for them to touch it. Since you lie about every damn thing, you lie so much, don't put your hands on it no more. Get you in a court of law. Do you swear, tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth? I was down there, I gave him the blues. I said, I don't swear nothing. Move the man's hand. No, I ain't swearing. The scripture said, don't swear. Stood there, put my hand on my hip like I was ready to fight. Did him like that. No, the scripture said, don't swear. Quoted the book to him. He says, well, do you affirm? See, what you got to do with them people, when you're talking to them, don't agree to nothing they say. Affirm what you're going to do. See, they ask you things like, do you understand? What that means is, do you stand under my authority? Just say, no, I do not understand. I'm not understanding what you're saying. That means, no, I'm not standing under your authority. I am going to do this, that, and other. I will speak the truth. You know, that's what you got to declare. Ain't that what Yahshua told us that? Stop being scared of them. You understand? They do you be late with a bill. You can be one day late. They calling you. So what you calling me for? Oh, yeah, calling about stuff. Don't be calling me. I'll pay it when I'm ready to pay it. Get off my phone. They be offended. Anybody tell you call me? I know to pay it. Then I'll call you tomorrow. Might postpone it 2 days now just to make sure you worry. We ain't worrying about no credit report. We cleaning up our credit report in heaven. And our credit score is 1,000. That's what he told us. We're going to be with him 1,000 years. Get your credit score up, Yisrael. Get your credibility up with Yahweh, because that is your credit score. Make sense? Stand up so we can have prayer. Abba Yahweh, we thank you for the blessedness of our lives, our health, our strength. We thank you for the power and the spirit of Yahshua in which we come and go, as well as we emerge. We ask your special blessing upon all your people. Many, Father Yahweh, that are downtrodden in the spirit. Many that suffer from high blood pressure, diseases, heart attacks, strokes, whatsoever it may be, the cancers and the various things, Father Yahweh, we know and understand we did not come to this earth to stay in this lifetime always, but that we look for a better kingdom, a kingdom not made with hands, a kingdom wherein dwelleth peace, success, happiness, and righteousness, that you granted those to overcome to have a place at your table where they will be with you and Almighty Yahweh forever and ever. This is what we seek, Abba Yahweh, and we simply ask of you, wrap us with the holy power of your commandments, the laws, judgments, and statutes. Put it in our mouths, put it in our hearts, that we may obey you both day and night. You said that this commandment will be health unto our navel. We ask you, Father Yahweh, as you've done for our fathers in the days of old, blot out all our iniquities, our transgressions, our failures, our shortcomings, and our shorts along the way. Please have mercy upon us. Give us kindness and loving hearts, meekness wherein we know to stand before you and to love and honor you. Restore unto us as your people, Father Yahweh. Please hear our cry, but restore unto us the joy and the blessedness of your salvation, wherein we can rejoice in you daily. Regardless of how we feel, ups and downs, depressions and sorrows, pain, hunger, let us take great delight and joy in knowing the simplicity that Yahshua, our King, cometh, and that he will reign, and we will reign with you forever and ever. Hallelujah. Happy Sabbath to you all. Hallelujah.